Chapter 11:12 No coincidence makes a book _4. Grandpa, where is Grandma? Adele asked. Adele's grandfather Jonathan said, Your grandmother is sleeping in her room. I'll go check on her. Okay. When Adele entered the room, she realized something was wrong. Did they come again today? The they Adele referred to was her grandparents' nephews. She was not the biological granddaughter of her grandparents. Like Martha, at the age of 3, she was adopted by her grandparents from China. Her grandparents' predecessors were excellent capitalists, leaving behind substantial wealth. As her grandparents' health deteriorated, and they had no descendants, their nephews and nieces started eyeing the inheritance, almost causing trouble every few days. Grandmother Luana nodded from the bed. Adele said angrily, That's too much. How can they bully old people who are defenseless? Grandpa and Grandma, if they dare to come again next time, you call me home, and I will make sure they leave in disarray. Luana shook her head. They wouldn't dare do anything to me. The person we're truly worried about is you. Ah! Adele was startled. Grandmother Luana continued. We are getting old and might pass away any day now. We're afraid those people will trouble you after we're gone. Adele was all alone in this place, without anyone to support her. If both of them were gone, Luana worried she might end up on the streets. After all, this is M country. Adele was a foreigner and, at any time, the locals wouldn't side with a foreigner. Adele patted her chest and said, Don't worry, Grandma and Grandpa. I'm very capable. They won't be able to bully me. Look, I'm fine now, aren't I? Grandfather Jonathan sighed. They don't dare to touch you now because they are wary of us, but once we are not here, you might suffer. You are the person we are most concerned about not leaving behind. It's okay, really, it's okay. Adele hugged her grandfather, then hugged her grandmother. I can protect both of you as well as myself. Grandmother Luana went on. Your grandfather and I have discussed it, and the most important thing for us to do now is to find your biological relatives. Only by finding her relatives would Adele have someone to rely on. Adele sighed. After such a long time, can we still find them? Even if we do, would they recognize me? The education in M country is very different from that in China. As an abandoned child under her grandparents' upbringing, she held no resentment towards her biological parents. In fact, she very much wanted to find them, to facilitate an eventual reunion with her relatives. Over the years, her grandparents had been teaching her Chinese culture and language. Grandfather Jonathan said, They will recognize you, they definitely will. Your grandmother and I have decided that in a few days, we will set off for Kong City in China. Without finding Adele's birth parents, he and Luana truly couldn't be at peace. With the protection of her birth parents, they could leave this world more peacefully. Am I coming along too? Adele asked. Grandfather Jonathan nodded. Yes, that's great. Having left China at the age of 3, Adele only had a vague memory of it, remembering just that the people there were warm and that there was not such severe racial discrimination. But if I go back, what about Martha? Adele was also worried about her good friend Martha. Jonathan spoke earnestly. People have to grow up. Martha can't always live under your protection. This could be a good opportunity for her to find her own space to grow. Okay. Adele nodded. Then I need to use this time to teach her some self-defense. What the family didn't know was that their nephews and nieces had heard their entire conversation. A bearded, burly man angrily pressed the switch. This is outrageous. Those 2 old fools actually want to leave our family's wealth to an outsider. No way. A short-haired woman with elaborate makeup stood up from the chair. We absolutely cannot let this happen. What should we do? They are about to go to Kong City in China. A chubby man sitting in the corner spoke. The bearded burly man continued. Well, take a trip to Kong City too. No matter what, we can't let the wealth fall into the hands of an outsider. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:13 No coincidence makes a book _5. The fat man said, I think we need to plan this out slowly. I actually have an idea. A cunning look flashed across the short-haired woman's eyes. What? The bearded burly man asked. The short-haired woman continued. Doesn't Adele want to find her biological parents? Let's let her find them. What do you mean? The fat man squinted his eyes. The short-haired woman waved at the two men. Both men immediately understood and walked over to her, leaning in their heads. The short-haired woman whispered to them. Upon hearing her words, a sinister smile appeared on both men's faces. The fat man continued, No delay. We should head to Kong City tomorrow and arrange everything beforehand. Yes. The other two nodded. You're right. We'll depart tomorrow. The next morning, An Yang and Mo Chishan returned to the manor. Zhao Yu said, Mom, you are too biased, going off to have fun with your man secretly and not taking me with you. What did you call me? Mo Chishan looked at Zhao Yu. Zhao Yu shivered inexplicably, feeling a bit guilty. That's what Mom calls you when you're not at home. After speaking, Zhao Yu quickly raised 3 fingers. I won't call you that again, I swear. An Yang laughed at Zhao Yu. Look at you. You're just like your dad in character. Zhao Yu said, like father, like son. Who told me to be my dad's real son? Right, Dad? Mo Chishan took a sip of his milk. I don't have such a disrespectful daughter. Zhao Yu corrected. Dad. You mean disrespectful son. Duo, you are a girl now. An Yang reminded Zhao Yu. Who says? Zhao Yu firmly said. I have always been a real man, even purer than real men. Since Kong City doesn't have an airport, Adele and Jonathan had to deplane in Beijing, then take a green skin train from Beijing to Kong City. Grandma Luana was not in good health, and riding the airplane exacerbated it. She was immediately taken to the People's Hospital of Beijing upon alighting. The chief doctor said, currently, Western medicine is unable to cure the patient's illness, but you could try traditional Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine? Adele asked puzzledly. What is traditional Chinese medicine? Although she had studied Chinese culture over the years, she hadn't touched upon medical issues. The doctor continued, traditional Chinese medicine is China's inherited medical skills, passed down for thousands of years. Coincidentally, I know a young divine doctor, but unfortunately, she is not in the country at the moment. However, you might consider visiting Dr. Wang, who is said to be that divine doctor's mentor. Adele smiled. That's wonderful. Could you give me Dr. Wang's address? Of course. Led by the doctor's instructions, Adele brought her grandmother to old Dr. Wang's home. After taking the pulse, old Wang stroked his beard. This is a case of disliking cold. Disliking cold? What do you mean by that? Is there a cure? Jonathan asked impatiently. Old Wang continued. Simply put, due to internal obstruction of heat pathogens, essential yang energy is blocked, leading to symptoms. Because the patient has not received the correct treatment up until now, the condition has worsened. If you had come a month earlier, I would still have been able to cure her, but now there is nothing I can do. Adele's face changed. So, what can we do now? Isn't there anything you can do? Old Wang said, I can only relieve the patient's cough and physical pain. How much longer do I have? Luana looked at Old Wang. Old Wang signaled 6 with his hand. Luana's face changed, covering her chest. Only 6 days left? Adele and Jonathan were also shocked. Old Wang shook his head. 6 months left. Hearing this, Luana breathed a sigh of relief. 6 months is enough. With 6 months, they definitely can find Adele's biological parents. After speaking, Luana continued, Can you alleviate my pain? Yes. Old Wang nodded his head. Luana said, Thank you so much. Having endured the torment of illness for days, she was truly fed up, and the prospect of 6 months of normal life made her very happy. Adele couldn't accept that her grandmother only had 6 months left. Hugging Luana, Grandma, I won't let you die. As people from M country view life and death rather casually, Luana smiled and said, In China, there is an old saying, everyone dies in the end. Birth and death are just mundane parts of human existence. It's nothing to fuss about. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:14 No coincidence makes a book _6. Upon hearing this, Elder Wang looked at Luana with some surprise, only then realizing that the two elderly were foreigners, while this young girl had the face of a Chinese. Elder Wang prescribed several traditional Chinese medicines for Luana, advising her to rest and assuring that her symptoms would ease within 10 days. As per Luana's wish, they decided to stay in Beijing for a few days, taking the opportunity to explore the capital of China. The next day, Luana, holding a map, led her grandparents to the Great Wall. The Great Wall was magnificent. Standing atop its ramparts, Luana was in awe and took many photos of her grandparents. Then, she handed her camera to a passerby. "Could you help us take a picture, please?" "Sure, no problem." The passerby took the phone. Just as the passerby pressed the shutter, he ran off with the camera. Adele was startled at first, but then quickly reacted and chased after him shouting, "Catch the thief! Catch the thief!" The thief ran desperately, quickly outpacing Adele. Adele was panting heavily. Just then, a young man in a trench coat suddenly dashed over from the side and swiftly subdued the thief to the ground with a neat capture move. Clap, clap, clap. Applause erupted all around. "Comrade, erase your camera." He tossed the camera to Adele. Adele caught the camera and said, "Sir, thank you so much. God will surely bless you." Finding her manner of speaking a bit odd, the young man looked up at Adele. Adele continued, "My name is Adele Jansen, from M country. You can just call me Adele. May I ask the name of the brave sir who helped us?" "Shangguan Su." Yes, this man was none other than Shangguan Su. "Mr. Shangguan, thank you." Adele bowed deeply to Shangguan Su. Drawing one's sword to help at the sight of injustice is a traditional virtue of China. No need for thanks. After saying this, Shangguan Su left with the thief in tow. Adele watched Shangguan Zu's retreating figure. Her eyes filled with sparkling stars. So handsome. She had never seen someone so handsome before. Those weaklings in M country couldn't compare to him at all. Since finding her relatives was urgent, Adele and her grandparents left Beijing by car more than a week later and headed to Kong City. During that week, Adele visited the Great Wall many times but never encountered Shangguan Su again. After staying in M country for about 10 days, Ni Yang and Zhao Yu returned to China. Mo Qishan could not return to China for the time being. He had to wait until Mo Baichuan's wedding day. During those 10 days, Ni Yang took Zhao Yu to many tourist sites in M country and even rode in Mo Qishan's private plane with him. Zhao Yu exclaimed, "I didn't realize my dad was so impressive." Because of the rumors heard in Beijing about Mo Qishan, Zhao Yu had thought Mo Qishan was just as unsavory as the rumors suggested. It turned out not to be the case at all. Her dad was the most awesome dad in the world, a dad who made the big shots in M country pale in comparison. Ni Yang patted Zhao Yu's head and coughed lightly. "Am I not impressive as well?" Zhao Yu smiled. "Impressive. Both of you are very impressive. I want to be as formidable as you someday." Ni Yang gave a thumbs up. "Go for it. I believe you can do it. But kid, you really are a girl." Zhao Yu replied, "I don't care. I am a boy anyway." Ni Yang slightly raised her eyebrows but didn't say much more. Coincidentally, just as Adele and her grandparents settled in Kong City, they discovered a missing daughter poster on a telephone pole next to their inn. Moreover, the information on the missing daughter poster virtually matched Adele's situation. 16 years ago, unable to provide for their daughter, they had sent her to an orphanage. 3 years later, the daughter was adopted by a foreign couple. Seeing this, Jonathan excitedly said, "Adele, this must have been posted by your biological parents." Adele frowned slightly. "This is too coincidental. Plus, they clearly knew I was adopted by you. Why would they post this here? Shouldn't they have posted it in M country instead?" Jonathan said, "The Chinese often say that a coincidence speaks to destiny. Maybe this is fate. As for why they posted the notice in Kong City, perhaps they thought we were settling here. No one else knows we came to Kong City. To prevent others from sabotaging, they had deliberately concealed the news of going abroad. Is that so? Adele was still somewhat in disbelief. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:15 The Appraisal Result. They are biological sisters. How should I put it? Adele always felt that this was too coincidental. They had just arrived in Kong City, and this family in Kong City started looking for their daughter? Jonathan continued, Isn't there an address on this? Let's go take a look. Isn't this too rash? Said Adele. Jonathan said, If we were just recognizing relatives like this, then indeed it would be too rash, but after we confirm the situation, we still need to do a paternity test. Don't worry, Adele, with a paternity test, we won't recognize the wrong person. Luana nodded. I think your grandfather is right. Now with a paternity test, we're not afraid of recognizing the wrong person. Hearing this, Adele also breathed a sigh of relief. The three went to the address listed on the notice looking for the daughter. As soon as these three left, three blonde-haired, blue-eyed people from M Country appeared behind them. If Jonathan were there, he would definitely recognize that these three were his nephew Danton, Albert, and his niece Beth. Beth removed her sunglasses, the corner of her mouth curving in an arc. Hooked. Albert, it's your turn now. Albert said with a smile. Don't worry. Leave the hospital to me. Danton said. These two old folks would never dream that we are in control of everything. Adele and her grandparents visited the family from the notice looking for their daughter. This was a very common worker family, currently with 3 sons and 1 daughter. According to them, Adele was their 5th child and the youngest, and they sent Adele to the orphanage due to various reasons at the time. My 5th child. My poor girl. Mom finally found you. The middle-aged woman claiming to be Adele's biological mother, Lee Inue, hugged Adele and sobbed with excitement. Adele, being hugged, was somewhat at a loss. Is this really her birth mother? Something felt a bit off. The middle-aged man claiming to be Adele's biological father, Wang Qingshan, was holding Lana and Jonathan's hands, expressing gratitude. Thank you for raising my 5th daughter to adulthood, Jonathan said. Sir, please calm down a bit. Right now, we only suspect that Adele is your child, but whether she truly is your child, we can only be sure after a paternity test. Wang Qingshan cried. She must be our child. Of course, they say blood is thicker than water. Both my wife and I can feel it. Lee Inue also said, Yes, we can feel it. Adele, supporting Li Yinyu's shoulders, said, Auntie, please don't be so emotional. The results are not out yet. I might not be your daughter. The greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. Adele didn't want to let herself down, nor did she want to disappoint this middle-aged couple. Li Inue, while wiping away tears, said, My 5th child, 5th child. You are my 5th child. 16 years have passed. Mom finally sees you. You don't know how much Mom missed you these years. I dreamt about you. 5th child, you've grown up. And you've become beautiful. My 5th child is so good-hearted. Now you even know to come back to recognize your mother. Luana, who had been silent, finally spoke. We should go to the hospital first. Li Inue said. My 5th child is really my daughter. If you don't trust us and must go to the hospital, then let's just go. Eventually, everyone went to the hospital together. They had to wait for the results of the paternity test, which wouldn't be immediately available. That evening, upon the enthusiastic invitation of Wang Qingshan and Li Inue, Adele and her grandparents stayed for dinner. All 3 sons and the daughter of Wang Qingshan and Li Inue also came back. Jonathan observed carefully. Although the Wang family's living conditions were not good, the couple still offered the best they had to host them. The meal had fish and meat. According to Jonathan's understanding, ordinary families currently could only afford to have meat on festive occasions. It seemed they truly attached great importance to Adele, their long-lost daughter. After dinner, Wang Qingshan and Li Yingyue personally escorted the three to the inn. After returning home, the eldest son Wang Li said, "Mom and Dad, I remember that our little sister had a birthmark the size of a bowl on her face, but that child raised by foreigners doesn't seem to be our little sister, right?" The Wang family indeed had a young daughter who was abandoned, not because they couldn't afford to raise her or because of other reasons, but because this young daughter had an ugly birthmark on her face. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:16 Appraisal Result. They are biological sisters. _2. She is your little sister, Li Yingyue said after taking a sip of water, her tone full of conviction. The second son, Wang Yi, said, "I also remember that our little sister had a scar on her face." The third son, Wang Jia, nodded as well. Li Yingyue continued, "From today on, forget about the scar on your little sister's face, and don't mention it to anyone else." "You mother is right," said Qingshan. "That girl, what's her name, Adele, is your little sister." "Honey, what's that girl's name again?" Li Yingyue replied, "Her name is Adele." Qingshan nodded, Yes, Adele." "Why though?" Wang Yi frowned slightly. "She clearly isn't our little sister. This is unfair to the real little sister." Li Yingyue explained, "This Adele has been raised overseas since she was young. I've heard that the people who raised her were those two old men and old women. They are capitalists in a foreign country, also known as entrepreneurs. They have about a dozen factories in M country, with total assets of several billion yuan. If Adele becomes your little sister, maybe in the future, they can each appoint one of you 4 siblings as a CEO, and you can work in an office. All you'd have to do is count money every day." Li Yingyue wasn't a fool. Those foreigners were trying to conspire against her, but they weren't cunning enough. They were using her, but wasn't she also using them? Once they claimed Adele as their daughter, they wouldn't have to worry about the rest of their lives. Upon hearing this, Wang Yi widened his eyes. "My God! Adele's family is so wealthy?" "That's right. So, from now on, Adele is your sister and you are her real brothers and sister. If you have nothing else to do, visit Adele more often and cultivate the sibling relationship. Their family is so rich that even a bit of spare change from their pockets is enough for our family to spend." Wang Yi said excitedly, All right, Mom, if you had told us earlier how wealthy they were, we would have treated Adele even better just now." The fourth daughter, Wang Rui, asked, "Mom, how much is several billion yuan?" Wang Rui wasn't well educated and didn't have a good concept of money. To her, several billion yuan was just a number. Li Yingyue thought for a moment, then said, "Several billion yuan can buy 100 airplanes flying in the sky." 100 airplanes? Wang Rui exclaimed. "Oh my gosh, Adele's family is that rich. Ordinary people can't even afford to fly on a plane, yet Adele's family can buy 100 airplanes. They must be extremely wealthy. Looks like one should never judge a book by its cover." Li Yingyue continued, "Do you still mind that she is your sister?" Wang Rui shook her head hurriedly. "Not anymore, not at all. How could she complain when their family is so rich?" Then Wang Li pitched in, "Since they have so much money, Mom, how much do you think she will give us?" Li Yingyue replied, "If they have 10 billion yuan, then they should give each of you at least 1 billion. Adele is their daughter, Luana and Jonathan don't have children of their own, and eventually all of that wealth will belong to their family." "What if they don't have 10 billion yuan?" Li Yingyue added. "Then they'll give you several tens of millions each. Don't worry, Adele is your sister, and her money is your money. Once the relationship is set here, we'll have her buy houses and cars for our family." "So, does that mean I won't have to work anymore?" Wang Rui suddenly became excited. Li Yingyue nodded and spoke with a look of longing. "Of course! Not only will you not have to work, but we'll also have nannies to take care of us." "That's fantastic." Wang Li suddenly realized something was off. Wait, weren't they supposed to do a paternity test? With today's advanced technology, What if the test shows Adele is not our little sister? This Adele wasn't really their child, and Wang Li found the matter to be rather mysterious. Li Yingyue smiled and replied, "You don't need to worry about that. Someone has already arranged everything." Wang Li asked, "Mom, what's really going on here?" He couldn't help feeling that Adele's arrival was too abrupt, and besides, why would their parents post a notice searching for their daughter? None of this seemed to make sense. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11-17 Appraisal Result. They are biological sisters. _3. Li Yingyue continued, "There are some things you don't need to know too clearly. You just need to wait peacefully for the wealthy days ahead." Wang Qingshan nodded in agreement. "Your mother is right." Hearing this, the children did not ask further. Meanwhile, at the inn, Jonathan asked Adele how she was feeling today. Adele replied, "Nothing special, but they were quite enthusiastic." She had known since she was a child that she was adopted by her grandparents and had never met her real relatives. Seeing the Wang family now, she did not feel as excited as she had imagined. Jonathan smiled and said, "Indeed, they are very enthusiastic, Adele. I feel like they are your biological parents. During this time, spend more time with them and develop your feelings." Luana nodded. "Your grandfather is right. They are your only relatives in this world." Adele hugged Jonathan and Luana. "Grandpa and Grandma, no matter when, you are my family. Silly child, we can't be with you for so long. One day you'll have to return to your own relatives, and only then can we depart peacefully." Jonathan and Luana's plan was to transfer all of Jonathan's properties and the factory to Adele once she found a dependable support in China. Since Adele was still not an adult, transferring the properties to her name without finding her relatives would risk her custodianship falling to Danton, Albert, and their niece Beth after their departure. Jonathan and Luana didn't trust these three people. It would be different if they were Adele's real parents. Thus, Jonathan and Luana were so eager to find Adele's biological parents, to provide her with a reliable support. The next day, Li Yingyue brought a bunch of delicacies for Adele and affectionately called her fifth child. Adele felt a bit uncomfortable and said, "Auntie, just call me Adele." Li Yingyue said, "Fifth child, I really am your mother, even though the identification results haven't come out yet. But believe me, as a mother, my instincts are not wrong. Fifth child, you can't call me mom now, and I don't blame you. After all, I didn't raise you when you were little. Now that you're willing to acknowledge me, your mom is already very happy. Look what mom brought you. This is pork floss, these are dried apricots, and this is pear soda. To buy these delicacies for you, mom even spent all the savings at home." "Savings?" Adele frowned, a bit puzzled. "What do you mean by savings?" Li Yingyue paused and looked up at Adele. She had thought that Adele was smart but realized that Adele didn't even know what savings meant. No wonder she could be deceived so easily. "Savings means money," Li Yingyue said. "Fifth child, these are the delicacies mom bought for you with money saved up over half a year. You can't get these overseas. Are you really short on money?" Adele hadn't paid attention when money wasn't mentioned, but now that it came up, she noticed Li Yingyue was wearing patched clothes. Li Yingyue had deliberately worn torn clothes that day. "Yes, our family lacks money. Otherwise, we wouldn't have sent you to the orphanage back then." Seeing her cry so sadly, Adele lowered her head, pulled out a stack of cash from her wallet, and handed it to Li Yingyue. "Auntie, take this for your expenses." Li Yingyue was surprised and feigned refusal. "Silly child, I haven't raised you for a single day. How can I have the face to spend your money now? I don't want it. Take your money back." Adele stuffed the money into Li Yingyue's pocket. "It's okay. Take it. I'm not short of money. Good child, fifth child. You really are mom's sweet child. Mom didn't dote on you for nothing." Li Yingyue cried as she hugged Adele. The next day, Li Yingyue brought Wang Rui, the fourth daughter, to visit Adele. Wang Rui had no other skills, but when it came to flattery, almost no one could match her, and she had a very thick skin. Sister, your clothes look so nice. I've never worn such nice clothes from childhood till now. As she said this, she sighed. Seriously, I really envy you. You've lived so well abroad. When I was young, I was never full or warm, let alone such nice clothes. I've never even worn new clothes. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:18 Appraisal Result. They are biological sisters. _4. Adele smiled. If you like it, you can have this dress. Really? Wang Rui was overjoyed. Aha! Adele nodded. Wang Rui immediately packed the dress into her bag. Then thank you, little sister. It seems that Li Yingyue was right. This Adele really is too naive. She deserves to be deceived by them. Having tasted a bit of sweetness, Wang Rui immediately picked up a pair of shoes and said, Little sister, these shoes are also nice. They're made of real leather, right? They must be very expensive? Actually, my dream is to buy a pair of real leather shoes, but unfortunately our family is too poor, we can't afford real leather shoes at all. Seeing how distressed Wang Rui was, Adele thought it was just a pair of shoes, and it wouldn't matter if she gave them to her even if Wang Rui wasn't her sister, especially since she had many pairs of shoes. These shoes are yours too, Adele said. Okay. Then thank you, little sister. Wang Rui immediately took off her cloth shoes and put on Adele's new shoes. Adele looked at Wang Rui's feet and said, My shoes seem a bit small for you. Afraid that Adele might change her mind, Wang Rui hurriedly said, It's all right if they are a bit tight. Decades ago in China, people still practiced foot binding. Foot binding is definitely more painful than wearing shoes that are slightly smaller. If the shoes are nice, being a little small doesn't matter at all. After putting on the shoes, Wang Rui took an interest in Adele's handbag and jewelry, again following the same pattern, and Adele felt too embarrassed to refuse, so she gave all those things to her. This trip was quite a gain for Wang Rui, and on the way back, she excitedly said, Mom, that Adele is just like a fool. She gives me whatever I ask for. Let's come back again tomorrow. Li Yingyue said, Tomorrow in bringing your eldest sister-in-law and second sister-in-law over, it wouldn't be fair if you were the only one to benefit. Hearing this, Wang Rui sighed with disappointment. If I knew this would happen, I would have asked for more today. Li Yingyue smiled and said, Don't worry. Adele will be your sister from now on. There will be plenty of opportunities in the future. Wang Rui nodded. Yeah, that makes sense. The next day, Li Yingyue indeed brought the eldest and second daughter-in-law to visit Adele. The two daughter-in-laws, having heard that their younger sister-in-law Wang Rui took home quite a bounty yesterday, did the same today. Oh my fifth little sister, your watch is so beautiful. Fifth little sister, your necklace is really nice. I've never worn such a beautiful necklace in my life. Fifth little sister, your bag is also pretty. Adele was so bothered she ended up giving those items to them as well. In the following days, Li Yingyue came almost every day, and every time she left with quite a few things, even not sparing facial skincare products. At night, Adele said with some frustration, Grandpa, Grandma, how much longer will it take for the appraisal result? Jonathan said, About another month or so. These things can't be rushed. Adele nodded. Time flew by, and in the blink of an eye, a month had passed. Today is the 18th day of the 6th lunar month. Also the day Mo Baichuan and Zhao Jingrong get married. To give Zhao Jingrong a grand wedding, Mo Baichuan had been preparing for more than 4 months, even arranging for over 20 wedding cars and hundreds of thousands in betrothal gifts, booking the largest wedding hotel in Beijing. At today's wedding, all the big shots of Beijing were present. Xiao Yingying was very excited. Cousin, Mr. Mog is coming today, right? Mo Baichuan glanced at Xiao Yingying helplessly and shook his head. He had said many times that he didn't know Mr. Mog, but Xiao Yingying seemed not to understand. Seeing Mo Baichuan not speaking, Xiao Yingying became even more excited. Mr. Mog will come, right? I knew Mr. Mog would certainly come. Zhao Jingrong, standing next to Mo Baichuan, curled her lips slightly. Xiao Yingying could never have dreamed that the Mr. Mog she was obsessed with was standing right next to her. But from today onward, Mr. Mog would belong to her, completely belong to her. From now on, she would be the most conspicuous woman in Beijing. At the wedding, the guest list was extensive, but Mo Baichuan looked around for a while and did not find An Yang. Did An Yang dare not come? Or has she gone behind the scenes to cause trouble? Definitely gone to cause trouble. After all, the person An Yang cares about is him, and the person she wants to marry is also him, so An Yang would certainly not let today's wedding go smoothly. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11-19 Appraisal Result. They are biological sisters. _5. Mo Baichuan squinted his eyes, a confident gleam passing through his gaze. Soon, Mo Baichuan finally caught sight of An Yang. She was dressed in a jade-green cheongsam, hooking her arm on Mo Kishin's, slowly walking their way. The glazed clasp at her chest quivered with her steps, resembling ripples on water, captivating and enchanting. Looking at Mo Kishin by her side, dressed simply in a white shirt and black suit pants, his aura was unapproachable. His sleeves were rolled up to his elbows, revealing a stretch of strong, fair arms. One hand in his pocket while the other gently wrapped around An Yang's waist. Although he is known in Beijing as a good-for-nothing, at this moment, their heavenly appearance brightened everyone's eyes. If Xiao Yingying didn't know Mo Qixin so well, she might have thought this good-for-nothing was Mr. Mog himself. Unfortunately, Mo Qixin was nothing more than an empty shell. With this thought, the curve at the corner of Xiao Yingying's mouth turned into deep disdain. This famous but useless Mo Qixin wasn't worth a second glance from someone as noble as her. An Yang and Mo Qixin took their seats at the elders' table. During that time, Mo Baichuan kept his eyes on An Yang, but there wasn't the slightest hint of emotion on her face. She maintained a calm demeanor from start to finish, as if she wasn't concerned about the wedding at all. Seeing this, Mo Baichuan slightly furrowed his brow. Wasn't An Yang jealous at all when she saw him prepare such a grand wedding for Zhao Jingrong? Was she brewing some major scheme? Yes, surely that was it. He couldn't believe that An Yang would give up on him so easily. After all, she had come to Beijing entirely for him. Although the wedding seemed to be going smoothly, there might be a conspiracy progressing stealthily. As long as An Yang was here, the wedding couldn't possibly end without a hitch. But Mo Baichuan waited a long time without any incidents. What was going on? The wedding was almost over. Could it be that An Yang was planning to cause trouble during the toast to the elders? Mo Baichuan squinted his eyes and, after all the proceedings, went with Zhao Jingrong to toast the elders. Uncle 6, Aunt 6, this cup we toast to you, he said. An Yang and Mo Qixin also raised their glasses. An Yang, with a ready smile, pulled out the prepared token money and said, "My dear nephew and niece, may you have a child soon and let Uncle 6 and I become grandparents early." "Thank you, Aunt 6. Zhao Jingrong took the red envelope. Mo Baichuan squinted his eyes again. An Yang could still smile at this moment. Could it be that there was something fishy in that red packet, or maybe, was there a miniature bomb inside meant to kill Zhao Jingrong? The thickness of the envelope could certainly fit a miniature bomb. With this thought, he quickly snatched the red packet from Zhao Jingrong's hand. "Baichuan, what's wrong?" Zhao Jingrong was startled. "Nothing," Mo Baichuan said while opening the envelope. Upon opening it, Mo Baichuan was stunned because, besides money, there was nothing else inside. What was going on? The wedding banquet was about to end. Was An Yang just watching him marry Zhao Jingrong? "Baichuan, what's wrong?" Zhao Jingrong asked with concern. "Nothing?" Mo Baichuan shook his head. "Just a bit dizzy, probably drank too much." Zhao Jingrong knew Mo Baichuan was overly focused on An Yang, beyond the concern a junior should have for an elder, but she didn't point it out. Because she knew, as Mrs. Mog, She would have to face all kinds of temptresses in the future. She didn't care what kind of man he was outside. All she wanted was to stand by Mo Baichuan's side. Back in ancient times, which influential men didn't have multiple wives and concubines. Why don't you drink less later, and let me handle it? No worries. Mo Baichuan waved his hand. Until the wedding banquet ended smoothly, Mo Baichuan saw no incidents occur. It was agonizing. Seeing Ni Yang's smiling face was truly unbearable for Mo Baichuan. Could it be that he had mistaken her feelings all along? Did Ni Yang really not like him? Was Mo Qishan the one Ni Yang truly liked? But Mo Qishan was just a good-for-nothing. Why would Ni Yang like him? He was the first to meet Ni Yang. Ni Yang came to Beijing for him. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:20 Appraisal Result. They are biological sisters. _6. Why did things turn out this way? Or did Ni Yang have a trick up her sleeve? Mo Baichuan drank glass after glass, almost not refusing any, until he finally drank himself under the table. Zhao Jingrong recalled her mother's advice. She said that only a child can tie a man's heart, so she must try her best tonight. She was going to bear Mo family's eldest grandson. Although Zhao Jingrong had long known that Mo Baichuan's true affections lay elsewhere, what she did not expect was that in the heat of the moment, the name Mo Baichuan called out was that of another woman. In that case, she had to try even harder. After the wedding banquet, Mo Qishan drove Ni Yang back. Yang, our big nephew is married now. When shall we also go get our marriage certificate? Ni Yang leaned back in the car seat, her tone lazy. You're still in the trial period. What's the hurry? Mo Qishan said. Then when can I finish this trial period? There has to be a deadline, right? Ni Yang glanced at him. When I'm in a good mood, you'll be done with the trial period. Aren't you happy now? Mo Qishan countered. Ni Yang smiled and said, Have you done anything to make me happy? Mo Qishan barely lifted his lips into a smile. Not yet, but I will soon. Ni Yang turned her head looking at Mo Qishan. You'll be looking forward to it. Don't let me down, Mr. Mo. When have I ever let you down? Mo Qishan countered. Ni Yang raised her eyebrows slightly. Now that she thought about it, he really hadn't. She had no idea what big thing Mo Qishan was planning. Elsewhere, in Kong City, the results of the paternity test had come in, confirming that Adele was indeed the daughter of Wang Qingshan and Li Yingyue. Upon seeing the results, Jonathan and Luana both breathed a sigh of relief. Adele having a support in China meant they could leave without worries. Wawawa. You see, I told you. You're my dear daughter, and I'm your real mom. Fifth sister. After all these years, you can finally return to your roots. Every member of the Wang family was extremely excited. Who wouldn't be thrilled to find a walking golden mountain? Wawawa. Now that it's confirmed you're a daughter of our Wang family, are you going to move back in and live with us? Wang Qingshan said. Li Yingyue immediately nodded in agreement. Of course, Wawawa. You've been separated from Mom and Dad for so many years. Now that Mom and Dad have finally found you, you should stay by our side and let us take care of you, to make up for all those lost years. Adele was somewhat overwhelmed. Were these people truly her dad, mom, and family? Why did she feel so out of place? But paternity tests don't make mistakes. Wang Rui continued. Although I really hope fifth sister can come back to live with us, our home is too small, dirty, and broken. I'm afraid it would be too humble for fifth sister. Wang Li nodded. I think fourth sister is right. Our home is too run down. How can we let fifth sister live in such a place? As soon as he said this, Wang Li added, How about we all chip in to buy a bigger house and bring fifth sister over to live with us? While saying this, Wang Li looked at Adele and sighed. Fifth sister, it's my fault for not being capable. I don't even have the money to buy a house. I've let you down. By the end, Wang Li's eyes were red. Jonathan was moved by Wang Li's words. How much more do you need for the house? Since we're all family now, we'll cover the money. Wang Li's eyes lit up immediately. Grandpa Jonathan, actually we already had our eyes on a villa. There are many people in our family, only a villa would fit us, but the villa is really too expensive. How about you just buy us a regular residential house we can squeeze in just as long as it's not too shabby for Wawawa. How much is needed for the villa? Jonathan asked. Wang Li hesitated. A lot. About 100,000 or so. 100,000 was but pocket change to Jonathan. Jonathan smiled. No problem. Let's go make the payment now. Wang Li was over the moon. He hadn't expected Jonathan to agree so readily. This capitalist sure was different. The family arrived at the sales office, and Jonathan immediately picked out a villa over 1,000 square meters. Wang Qingshan and Li Yingyue were ecstatic. They were just ordinary workers and never dreamed that they would be able to live in a villa in their lifetime. Among the happy were Jonathan's 3 nieces and nephews. Now, all they had to do was wait for Jonathan and Luana to transfer all the assets to Adele's name. Once the old couple passed away, they would become Adele's guardians, naturally regaining control over the assets. As for Wang Qingshan and Li Yingyue, they had no blood relation to Adele. Legally, their relationship could not be recognized. The Wang family was like a bottomless pit, asking for houses then cars, finishing with cars then asking for drivers, also wanting a nanny, their demands ever-growing, completely unabashed. In just a few days, the family of 6 lived like nobility. Wang Jia, the 3rd son of the Wang family, was an educated man. Mom and Dad, isn't it a bit improper for us to continue like this? Li Yingyue gave him a cold look. Wawawa is my own dear daughter. Can't I enjoy the blessing of my own daughter? It's a daughter's duty to honor her parents. In Li Yinyu's eyes, all these treatments and things were rightfully hers. Adele is her dear daughter. Wang Jia frowned but said no more. Jonathan and Luana also felt the greed of the Wang family. But no matter how greedy they were at least better than their nieces and nephews. After all, they were Adele's biological parents and wouldn't do anything to hurt her. Greed wasn't a big problem as long as Adele had a support system in China. After the wedding, Mo Chishan stayed in China instead of going abroad. Morris, still no result on that matter? In the office, Mo Chishan looked impatiently at Morris. Morris shook his head with difficulty. Not yet. Just then, Marcus burst in excitedly. Sir, the results are out. How is it? Mo Chishan looked up. Marcus held the document in his hands. You guessed right. Miss Adele is indeed Miss Eneas' long-lost sister. Here are the test results. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:21 Retribution. Recognition. Let me have a look. Marcus handed the identification results to Mo Chishan. Mo Chishan took the document, skimmed through it rapidly, then asked, Where is this Adele now? Marcus continued, They are now in Kong City. Marcus took the opportunity to explain the situation of Adele's 3 cousins. Mo Chishan nodded slightly. Okay, I got it. After saying that, Mo Chishan rushed out with the identification results in a hurry. The weather was nice today, so Ni Yang also joined the flower planting team. When Mo Chishan arrived at Jinghua village, Ni Yang was waving a hoe, fertilizing the wild roses. Yang, brother Mo, why are you here? Ni Yang slightly looked up, her already pale forehead almost translucent under the sun, with the bright sunlight behind her. Mo Chishan was briefly stunned, then jogged over. Yang, I have some good news to tell you. What good news? Ni Yang raised her eyebrows slightly. Mo Chishan said, Something that will make you very happy. At this, Ni Yang suddenly remembered. This man had promised her a surprise half a month ago. Let's hear it. Mo Chishan handed the document he was holding to Ni Yang. Open it and see. What is this? Ni Yang puzzled as she opened the document. Upon seeing the content of the document, Ni Yang's usually calm face gradually turned into surprise, and she hugged Mo Chishan excitedly. Oh my God! Brother Mo, you aren't joking with me, are you? Do I look like someone who wouldn't take this seriously? Emochishin held Yang and spun her around on the spot. Put me down quickly. I need to tell my mom this good news. Emochishin released Yang. Yang, holding the document, ran into the house. Mom! Mom! Your mom is at the factory, Yang. What's making you so happy? Grandmother Zheng smiled as she walked down the stairs. Tsuehua was now a career-oriented woman, spending at least 7 to 8 hours in the food factory every day. Her factory now produces not only spicy sticks but also Haiqing specialty snacks, which are very popular in the market. Yang said, Grandma, Brother Mo helped me find my third sister. Upon hearing this, Grandmother Zheng was stunned. What? Yang repeated, Grandma, we found my third sister. Oh my goodness. Really? Grandmother Zheng was both shocked and delighted. Really? Yang nodded, handing the document to Grandmother Zheng. Look, this is the identification result. Grandmother Zheng took the document, her hands trembling. Found it. Really found it. Where is your third sister now? Grandmother Zheng continued to ask. Yang looked at Emochishin. Brother Mo, where's my third sister now? Emochishin said. She is currently in Kong City. Kong City? Grandmother Zheng continued. Kong is over 300 miles away from here. Sixth, how did you find this child? Meanwhile, Grandmother Zheng was also worried, wondering if this child might end up like Wu Yinyun, ultimately leading to hostility, which would be unfortunate. Emochishin went on to say, the third sister, Adele, was adopted by grandparents in M country since childhood and came back to the country 2 months ago to look for relatives. Emochishin succinctly explained the situation. Upon hearing this, Grandmother Zheng breathed a sigh of relief. Then we need to hurry to Kong City to authenticate the child. Absolutely must not let that family deceive her. I'll call my mom and dad now. Then I'll quickly spread this good news to your grandfather and your grandmother. After receiving the call, Tohua rushed back from the factory, her eyes red with excitement. Yang, you're not joking with your mom, are you? Xiaomo really found your third sister? Yang nodded. Really? Tsuehua continued. That's great. Really great. Xiaoma, thank you for caring so much about our family. Emochishin smiled. We are all family, Aunt. You're being too formal. Tsuehua wiped away tears excitedly. Right. We are all family. Yang continued. Brother Mo said that third sister Adele in Kong City mistakenly recognized the wrong parents. We need to hurry over and bring her back. Grandfather Zheng and Grandmother Zheng said, we are going too. Shangguan Dehui said, Dad, Mom, you are older. A long journey might be too taxing on your bodies. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1122 Retribution. Recognizing each other _2. Yang smiled and replied, My dad is right, Grandpa and Grandma. There's no need for you to go. Mo and I will just follow them over. Hearing this, old Master Zhang had to abandon the idea. All right then, go early and return early. Your grandma and I will wait for you at home. Okay. Yang nodded. Kong City is 300 kilometers from here. You can drive there. No need to take the train. Without delay, they quickly packed a bit and set off for Kong City. At this time there was no traffic jam, the road was clear, and they arrived at Adele's current residence, a villa, in about 3 hours. The door was opened by a nanny. Hello. May I ask who you're looking for? Does Adele live here? Yang asked. You're looking for Miss Adele. She's not at home right now, the nanny replied. Are Mr. Jonathan and Mrs. Luana at home? Yang continued. The nanny was just about to reply when a young man walked out from inside the villa. Who is it? The young master. They're looking for Mr. Jonathan and Mrs. Luana. The nanny turned around and respectfully said. This young master was the Wang family's eldest son, Wang Li. Wang Li looked at the people standing outside with disdain and said, "This area is a high-class villa district. Mr. Jonathan and Mrs. Luana are not people that you poor folks can just expect to meet on a whim. You should look in the mirror and see what you even look like." Wang Li had been an ordinary worker before, and now that he was finally above others, of course, he wanted to display his authority. Meeting Jonathan and Luana wasn't going to be that easy. "Who is it?" Hearing the noise outside, Wang Rui also came out. Wang Li closed the door. "Just some poor folk. Ignore them." Wang Rui continued, "Do you know where Grandma Luana went? What do you need her for?" Wang Li asked. Wang Rui said, "I'm out of money, asking her to give me some to spend. Then I'm out of money too. She's not at home right now. Shall we both go ask her tonight?" Wang Li suggested. "Okay." Wang Rui nodded. This family had already started treating Jonathan and Luana as their personal ATMs, stretching out a hand for money whenever they were out of it. If Jonathan and Luana refused, they would throw tantrums, saying unpleasant things, becoming increasingly outrageous and unbridled. For the sake of their granddaughter's stable future, the two old folks had no choice but to swallow their pride and endure. Wang Li turned an Yang and the others away, and Yang couldn't be tough with him. After all, they were here asking for help. "What should we do now?" And Tsuehua said anxiously. They had finally made it to Kong City, but who would have thought they'd be met with a closed door? Shangguan Dehui comforted her. "Dia, don't worry. Now that we're here, we'll definitely be able to see Yang Yang." And Yang looked at Mo Chishan. The person just now, could it be the one who's been posing as Yang Yang's family? Mo Chishan nodded. "It looks very likely." According to the investigation, the family posing as Yang Yang's relatives has 3 sons and 1 daughter. The eldest, Wang Li. The second, Wang Yi. The third, Wang Jia. And the fourth, Wang Rui. If I'm not mistaken, that person should be the eldest, Wang Li. And Yang raised her eyebrows slightly. "No wonder I felt he didn't look like a good person." Mo Chishan spoke in a detached tone. "To be precise, none of the people in this family are good." At that moment, the pager in Mo Chishan's pocket beeped. Mo Chishan took out the pager and then said, "Let's wait here for a bit. Mr. Jonathan and Mrs. Lana will be back soon." "Really?" And Tsuehua asked eagerly. "Yes, Auntie. The message I just received should be correct." Mo Chishan affirmed with a slight nod. The message Mo Chishan received was accurate, and about 7 or 8 minutes later, a pair of elderly people with graying hair, walking with canes, approached. "Yang Yang, that's Mr. Jonathan and Mrs. Luana." Mo Chishan lowered his gaze to an Yang. Upon seeing Jonathan and Luana, an Yang was stunned for a moment, recognizing them immediately from their previous meeting in M Country. No wonder during their last encounter in M Country, an Yang felt that the old couple's gaze on her was somewhat unusual. The reason lay here. "Mr. Jonathan, Mrs. Luana." "Hello?" An Yang greeted them with a smile. Jonathan and Luana, upon seeing an Yang, were also stunned. "Oh my goodness! It's you, the beautiful young lady." Luana went up to an Yang, gripping her hands in excitement. "I really didn't expect to see you here." Source: Web Novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1123 Retribution. Recognizing each other _3. And Yang smiled and said, "Maybe this is fate. Oh, let me introduce you. This is my boyfriend, Mo Chishan, this is my father, and this is my mother." "Nice to meet you. Mrs. Luana, I'm finally seeing you," and Tsuehua said as she shook Luana's hand, her expression somewhat excited. Luana was a bit confused and also surprised. The last time she saw an Yang, she felt that Adele and an Yang looked somewhat alike. Now seeing an Tsuehua, she thought an Qihua's eyes were exactly like Adele's. If it wasn't for the fact that Adele had already found her biological parents, she would have almost suspected that an Tsuehua and Adele were mother and daughter. An Yang continued, Mr. Jonathan, Mrs. Luana, we have some things to discuss with you. Do you have time now? If you do, I know a really nice cafe nearby. And Young had noticed the cafe on the way here. Luana looked at Jonathan, who nodded. A few of them set out for the cafe. The cafe had a great atmosphere, very suitable for discussing matters. And Young didn't beat around the bush. After explaining the purpose of their visit, she directly took out the DNA test results. This is the DNA test report. Please take a look. Jonathan and Luana exchanged a glance, both seeing surprise and confusion in each other's eyes, before picking up the DNA report. After looking at the DNA report, Jonathan said incredulously, "How is this possible? What's going on? We've already done a DNA test and Adele is indeed the daughter of Li Yingyue and Wang Qingshan. How could there be such a DNA report now? This was too strange. In these two families, surely one was lying. But which one was it?" Mo Qishan then took out another document. "As to what exactly is going on with that DNA report, I think your nephew Albert, Danton, and your niece Beth should be very clear about it." Mo Qishan paused, then continued, "This is their travel records, and judging by the dates, they arrived in Kong City half a month before you did." "What?" Jonathan stood up in surprise. "They came to Beijing too?" Mo Qishan nodded, tapped his fingers on the table with a casual posture, yet exuding a powerful presence. Luana picked up the document and her eyes widened in shock after seeing its contents. The document clearly recorded the travel dates of Albert, Danton, and Beth, and even detailed what they did each day. "Who are you?" Luana looked up at Mo Qishan. Although this young man looked young, his capabilities were not to be underestimated. After all, these were cross-border travel records. Not just anyone without influence could obtain them. Mo Qishan replied indifferently, "I am Mo Qishan. You can call me Xiaoma." Jonathan turned his head to look at Mo Qishan. "Mr. Mo, why should I believe you? And how do I know these documents aren't forgeries?" "I think these should provide proof," Mo Qishan said slowly as he took an envelope from his bag. Jonathan immediately opened the envelope, which contained color photographs. The backgrounds of the photos were in a hospital office, and the people in them were the doctor and Albert. These photos documented the entire process of Albert bribing the doctor. "If you don't believe me, there's also these," Mo Qishan continued, taking out some additional materials. Looking at what Mo Qishan took out, Jonathan and Luona's expressions turned very ugly. And Cuihua and Shangguan Dehui, sitting opposite Mo Qishan, were stunned. Neither of them had expected Mo Qishan to come so well prepared. If Mo Qishan hadn't prepared in advance, their trip might have been in vain. It seemed that Mo Qishan had put a lot of effort into this matter. After looking through all the materials, Jonathan and Luana sighed. They never imagined that their daily lives were being monitored by their nephews and nieces all along, and that they were completely under their control. Seeing the changing expressions on the faces of the two old people, Mo Qishan continued, "Do you believe me now?" We believe," Jonathan nodded. "Forget the copious evidence. Even without it, just the fact that Adele so closely resembled an Cuihua was enough for them to believe." Source: Web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:24 Retribution. Recognizing each other _4. As soon as he finished speaking, Jonathan continued, "Those three bastards, I will never let them go. My wealth, they won't get a penny of it." Before this incident, Jonathan had thought about leaving some wealth to his nephew and niece, but now he doesn't even want to leave them half a penny. Mo Qishan smiled faintly. Cleaning the house can be postponed, but the top priority now is to reunite Adele with her own family. Right. You're correct, Jonathan nodded. Let's head back to the villa while we talk. Okay. The group left the cafe and headed back toward the villa. When they got back, the Wang family had already eaten. Wang Qingshan and Li Yingyue were lying on the sofa in the living room watching TV. Seeing Jonathan and Luana bring some strangers back, They said somewhat unhappily, "Why bring back just anyone? Our home is not some refugee shelter. Also, we have already eaten. You can check the kitchen to see what's there and find something to eat by yourselves." Now, Li Yingyue was not afraid of Jonathan and Luana, because she is Adele's biological mother. If Adele wanted to have a support in China, she must please them. 3 sons and a daughter of the Wang family came over from the other side, stretching out their hands asking Jonathan and Luana for money. Wang Li, seeing Ni Yang and the others, suddenly felt they looked familiar and squinting his eyes said, "Why, it's you again? How did you get in again? Weren't you told to scram? Is this a place for you to come? The ones who should scram are you." Jonathan, unable to bear it anymore, slammed the table. "What did you say?" Li Yingyue suddenly jumped up from the sofa, jumping 3 feet high, and said excitedly, "You tell us to scram? Adele is our biological daughter. You have no right to tell us to scram." Jonathan angrily said, "Liars! All of you liars! Do you really think I don't know the truth? Mark, I'm here." Mark ran over. Jonathan continued, "Call the police. Arrest these swindlers." Mark nodded. "Okay. Please wait a moment." Mark was the butler Jonathan brought over from M country and was very loyal to Jonathan, never doubting his orders. Now, Li Yingyue and Wang Qingshan were somewhat panicked. Has Jonathan gone mad? Why call the police all of a sudden? He certainly doesn't seem to be joking. What the heck is going on? Could it be that Jonathan and Luana, these 2 fools, really know something? How did they find out? Li Yingyue quickly said with a smile, "You're just joking with us. We're all family, why call the police?" Exactly. Wang Qingshan followed along. Jonathan didn't want to argue with them, sitting on the sofa waiting for the police to come. Seeing that Jonathan stopped speaking, Li Yingyue sighed in relief. She thought Jonathan was definitely joking. She is Adele's biological mother. How could Jonathan really call the police? The 3 sons and daughter of the Wang family did not take this matter to heart either, continuing to ask Luana for money. Watching the Wang family's attitude, Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui slightly frowned. This family's behavior is truly appalling. Luana and Jonathan, like Ni Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui, sat there in silence. Wang Rui, somewhat impatiently, said, "Are you going to give it or not? I am Adele's sister. Why does Adele have unlimited money every day, and I still have to ask?" "And you guys," Wang Rui said, looking up at Ni Yang and the others. "Who are you? What gives you the right to stay in my house? Get out quickly. Or don't blame me for being rude." Just then, the sound of a siren blared outside. Who called the police? A police officer in uniform came in from outside. "It was me." Jonathan stood up from the sofa. "Please arrest these swindlers." Now, Li Yingyue, Wang Qingshan, and their 3 sons and daughter completely panicked. "No, officer. We are not swindlers. We really aren't." Li Yingyue directly sat down on the floor, creating a scene. "My 5th baby. Someone is bullying your biological mom. Why aren't you coming back?" But creating a scene was ineffective against the police. After understanding the facts and seeing the evidence provided by Mo Chishan, the family was taken to the police station. Jonathan and Luana, as victims, also went to the police station, but they arranged to meet Ni Yang again tomorrow afternoon. Source: web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:25 Retribution. Recognizing each other _5. The next afternoon, Ni Yang and Mo Chishan arrived at the villa on time. Adele had already come back. The moment she saw Adele, Ni Quihua's eyes turned red. Ni Yang was also somewhat stunned, as Adele and Ni Tsuehua resembled each other at least 50%. Luana personally introduced Adele. "Adele, this is your biological mother. This is your mother's second husband. This is your sister Ni Yang. And this is your sister's boyfriend Mo Chishan. After these days spent with the Wang family, Adele felt a bit resistant towards her family members. She feared that these family members would be as insatiable and greedy as the Wang family. Upon learning that the Wang family were not her real relatives, Adele was greatly relieved. But when she heard that another group claiming to be her family had come searching for her, Adele was anxious again. She had discussed it with her grandparents last night, that if this family resembled the Wang family, they would immediately return to M country and consider other options. Hello. Adele greeted politely with a bow. Hello, child. Your name is Adele, right? And Tsuehua, with tearful eyes, took Adele's hand. Yes. Adele nodded. Child, I thought I would never see you in my lifetime. After Wu Yanyan's matter, Tsuehua had been very sad and distressed, feeling guilty that she hadn't protected her daughters well, and now being able to reunite with her third daughter. Tsuehua was truly very happy. Very happy. Mom, don't be sad. We've found our youngest sister now, haven't we? Yang came over, gently comforting Tsuehua, then extended her hand to Adele. Hello, Adele. I am your oldest sister. Oldest sister? Adele puzzled for a moment, then shook hands with Yang. Kinship is a very strange thing. Although it was their first meeting, Adele felt a sense of closeness to Yang. Adele, this is our dad. Yang continued. Dad. For the first time in her life, Adele uttered these two words. Felt very foreign, yet also very novel. Child. Shangguan Dehui reached out to embrace Adele. After the brief recognition, Adele continued, Mom, can you tell me some stories about my childhood? For example, why was I sent to the orphanage? Having been educated in the West from a young age, Adele digested matters relatively quickly and harbored no resentment against her biological parents. Hence, she adapted very quickly. Tsuehua tearfully narrated their past. In fact, every time she talked about the past, she was in immense pain. Those scars that had barely healed were now bleeding anew. Fortunately, she had found her third daughter. Listening to the tale, Adele, along with Jonathan and Luana, all furrowed their brows, their eyes slightly red. None of them could have imagined the kind of story hidden behind Tsuehua. Adele, I'm sorry. It's Mom's fault for not protecting you well. I'm sorry. Tsuehua knelt in front of Adele. Please get up. It's all in the past. There's no use blaming yourself now. Adele helped Tsuehua to stand up. We must also thank you both. If it weren't for you raising Adele into adulthood, she wouldn't have her life today. Shangguan Dehui and Tsuehua bowed to Jonathan and Luana. The next day, Jonathan, Luana, and Adele followed them back to Beijing. Ever since Tsuehua and the others had left, Zhang Leioi and Zhang Laotai had been eagerly awaiting their return, finally managing to look forward to welcoming them back. After receiving their call about coming back, the three elderly people, along with Zhao Yu and little Ni Yun, eagerly waited at the entrance of the village. Finally, at 12 o'clock sharp in the afternoon, they welcomed everyone back. Adele affectionately addressed them as Grandpa, Grandma, and Grandma. Seeing that Adele was indeed different from Wu Yenyun, Zhang Leioi and Zhang Laotai were very happy. Ni Yang then introduced Zhao Yu and little Ni Yun to Adele. This is our youngest sister Ni Yun. You can call her Little Yun Yun. This is my goddaughter Zhao Yu. Her nickname is Duo Duo. You can call her Duo Duo. Zhao Yu skillfully said, Hello, third aunt. Your great-nephew greets you. Adele, not understanding the concept of a goddaughter, exclaimed in surprise, Sister, your daughter is already this big? Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 11:26 Retribution. Recognizing each other _6. Yang nodded in all seriousness. Oh my gosh! Adele covered her mouth tightly. This is just too incredible. Little Ni Yun looked up at Adele. Are you my third sister? Oh my gosh. Little Yun Yun. You are really so cute. Adele bent down and picked up little Ni Yun. Little Ni Yun was another sweet talker, and she also knew a little bit of simple English. She made Adele very happy in no time at all. So far, Adele was fairly satisfied with her family, just wondering if anything would change in the future. After all, the Wang family had been very nice to her at first too. Entering the Ni family's small courtyard, Adele couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. Because the courtyard was really so beautiful. She had never seen such retro architecture before, and those 2 rose walls in full bloom were also very pretty. Jonathan and Luana were also full of amazement. Once inside the house, old Mrs. Shangguan brought out the food that had been prepared in advance to welcome them. Everyone had been riding in the car since morning, hardly eating anything in between. So now that there was delicious food, everyone ate with great gusto. Oh my gosh, this steak is so delicious. And this soup is really good too. Back in Kong City, they had never had such tasty Chinese food. After the meal, Ni Tohua handed Luana a passbook. Adele, this is the money Mom has saved for you over the years. You keep it well. Holding the passbook, Adele was stunned. Before, the Wang family people were always racking their brains to ask her for money, but she didn't expect Ni Tsuehua to actually give her money. It seemed Ni Tsuehua was different from that family. Adele lowered her head to look. There was quite a bit of money in the passbook, a 7-figure amount. Mom, I have money. I can't take this. Adele handed the passbook back to Ni Tsuehua. Ni Tsuehua handed the passbook back to Adele. Adele, Mom knows this money might not make up for the hurt I've caused you, but you keep it and it'll make me feel better. With Ni Yang around, the Ni family's life was very affluent. Ni Tsuehua didn't need to push herself so hard. She just wanted to give her daughters something through her own efforts. She didn't want to rely on others for everything, nor did she want to leave too many regrets in her life. Adele knew that if she refused again, Ni Tsuehua would be hurt, so she could only temporarily accept the passbook. Seeing Adele accept it, Ni Tsuehua also breathed a sigh of relief. In the afternoon, old Mrs. Zhang and old Mrs. Shangguan took Luana for a walk around the village, while Jonathan joined the team to start clearing the fields with old Mr. Zheng. Although Jonathan had been a businessman in his early years, he also harbored a pastoral heart. In order to welcome their new sister home, Shangguan Su and Shangguan, she specially took the time to come back in the evening. Seeing Shangguan Su, Adele's eyes lit up. It's you! Adele remembered Shangguan Su, but Shangguan Su was a little forgetful about her. Who are you? Adele continued. It's me, I'm Adele. Back at Tiananmen, you helped me catch a pickpocket. With that said, Shangguan Su remembered. Oh, it's you. Wait, you wouldn't happen to be my 3rd sister, would you? Ni Yang said with a smile. Big brother? You and Adele already know each other? Shangguan Su nodded. She really is our 3rd sister? Ni Yang continued. Adele, this is our eldest brother, Shangguan Su. Adele probably knew a bit about Shangguan Zu's situation and that he was a child brought over by Shangguan Dehui, with no blood relation to herself. Big brother, hello? Adele was very happy to see Shangguan Su again. Adele, this is Sister Xiaoxi. Ni Yang continued the introduction. Sister Xiaoxi. Shangguan, she didn't expect this new little sister to be so enthusiastic and said with a smile. Hello, little 3rd sister. Call me Adele, Sister Xiaoxi. Adele added. I find it more intimate that way. In the evening, Ni Yang personally cooked, and together with Mo Chishan, the whole family had a lively reunion dinner. After the meal, Ni Yang walked Mo Chishan back. Yang, does this mean I can finish the probation period now? Mo Chishan asked. Ni Yang chuckled and nodded, the dimples at the corners of her mouth showing. I hereby announce that Mr. Mo Chishan has officially completed the probation period and is directly made permanent. That's great. Mo Chishan, thrilled, picked up Ni Yang and spun her around several times. Wife, I really love you so much. The bright moonlight cast a mysterious veil over the two. After a moment, Mo Chishan let go of Ni Yang. Wife, when can we get our marriage certificate? And Aiyang pondered. We'll still have to wait a bit for that. Sister Xiaoxi is about to get married. How long do you want me to wait? Shangguan Shi and Wu Chenjun were already officially together, and the parents from both sides had met. All that was left was a wedding. Let's talk about it after Sister Xiaoxi gets married, and Aiyang said with a smile. Mo Qishan added, I heard from Mom today that they're going to set a date for the wedding soon. Really? And Aiyang raised her eyebrows slightly. What do you think? Mo Qishan also raised his eyebrows. After sending Mo Qishan back, and Aiyang specially went to ask Ai Tsuehua about it. And Ai Tsuehua nodded. Yes, Xiaoxi is not young anymore, and we know Chenjun well, so your dad and grandma think it's better to settle this matter soon. Now that Adele had been found too, it was truly a double blessing, and Ai Tsuehua was genuinely very happy. In less than 2 days, the news of Aiyang finding her biological sister had spread throughout the whole village. Wu Yenyun, who had been depressed at home, also heard about it, but she didn't believe it was true. She couldn't believe that a child who had been abandoned would forgive the perpetrator, unless that child was someone greedy for wealth and benefits. Wu Yenyun was getting restless and wanted to see for herself, so she went out into the streets. She happened to encounter Aiyang, Mo Qishan, and Shangguan Su with Adele having fun on the street. The short-haired girl should be Aiyang's little third sister. She was very pretty and warmly addressed Aiyang and Mo Qishan as sister and brother-in-law. Gradually, Wu Yanyun's vision blurred. Why was everyone else so happy while she was in so much pain? Wu Yenyun clenched the tree trunk tightly, her knuckles turning slightly white from the force. Source: Web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1127 May you gather much. This thing makes one miss it the most. Adele is very beautiful, her eyes as if they could speak. There was a time when she also had a pair of equally beautiful eyes. Now what? She didn't know when it started, but she had turned into this neither human nor ghost figure. Her great youth and bright future were all ruined by Aiyang and the Ai family. If it were not for Aiyang and the Ai family, she would definitely not have ended up like this. It's all their fault. In her childhood, they abandoned her. When she grew up, they personally destroyed her. Wu Yanyun's shoulders shook violently, devastated by grief. She didn't understand. Why did Adele so easily forgive the Ai family and Aiyang? Can abandonment also be forgiven? Is Adele eyeing the Ai family's wealth? After all, the Ai family is extremely wealthy. Wasn't it Aiyang, after all, who coveted the Ai family's wealth and thus concealed her true identity for so long? If Adele isn't after the Ai family's wealth, then she must have been deceived by Aiyang. No, she can't let Adele be deceived by them. Why should she be the only one suffering so much? No way, she must expose the true nature of the Ai family in front of Adele. Wu Yenyun narrowed her eyes. Although Adele had passed through Beijing when she went to Kong City last time, she was in a hurry and only visited Tiananmen and the Great Wall. This time, Aiyang and Mo Qishan took her to Wangfujing and Nanluoguxiang. Nanluoguxiang is the oldest street in Beijing, where you can see many ancient buildings that are magnificent and awe-inspiring. Standing at the entrance of an alley in Nanluoguxiang, Aiyang set the camera to automatic mode. How about the four of us take a photo together? Yes, yes. Adele nodded eagerly. During the photo, Adele naturally stood next to Shangguan Su and hooked his arm, a radiant smile blooming on her lips. Westerners are generally more open, and Shangguan Su didn't think too much of it. However, Aiyang noticed Adele's little scheme. Every young girl experiences the blossoming of first love. Shangguan Su was handsome and had previously played the hero to save the beauty, so it was normal for Adele to fancy Shangguan Su. Let's split up for now, Mo and I will go this way. Brother, you take Adele that way and we'll meet up for dinner at Gustianxiang, how about that? Aiyang suggested. Hearing this, Adele was ecstatic. She almost shouted, "Long live sister!" Yes, yes. Mo Qishan sensed the trickery at play, took An Yang's hand and said, "Then An Yang and I will head this way. Then we'll go this way." Adele pulled Shangguan Su towards the other direction. This was Adele's first time seriously shopping, and she curiously inspected everything she saw. Before long, Shangguan Zu's hands were full of little trinkets. Folk art candy, candied hawthorn, donkey rolls, AI Wowo. What's that over there? It looks so tasty. Adele approached a stall, swallowing her saliva. That's doji, a specialty of Beijing not found elsewhere. It's quite an acquired taste. Not everyone appreciates it, Shangguan Su said. Why? Adele was curious. Doji is fermented, with a very unique and somewhat strange taste, so not everyone likes it. Many outsiders can't even swallow a mouthful of doji. But I see them enjoying it. Adele followed behind, gulping. Shangguan Su smiled. I advise you not to try it, you might not have time to vomit it out. However, due to curiosity, the more Shangguan Su said that, the more Adele wanted to try. Is that stuff really that unpalatable? But I want to give it a try. Adele tugged at Shangguan Zu's sleeve. Shangguan Su smiled. Then let's give it a try. The two sat down at the stall, ordered 2 portions of doji, and some snacks. Due to many customers, the service was a bit slow. Under Adele's eager anticipation, the 2 portions of doji were finally brought to the table. The doji was dark green in color and smelled sour and stinky, causing Adele to reflexively cover her nose. This smell is really unique. Shangguan Su smiled faintly. See, I told you. Doji is not for everyone. Maybe it's like stinky tofu. Smells bad but tastes good. She enjoyed stinky tofu immensely, so why fear a small bowl of doji? She couldn't let Shangguan Su underestimate her. Source: web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1128. May you gather much. This object most evokes longing _2. Adele took a big gulp of the soybean juice. Yuck. This taste. This indescribably unique. How should I describe it? It feels like drinking a bowl of sour, spoiled dishwater. Shangguan Su kicked the trash bin over to Adele's side. If you're not used to it, just spit it out. No need to force yourself. Spit it out? She wouldn't do that. If Shangguan Su can drink it, why can't she? Adele swallowed the soybean juice in her mouth and gave a thumbs up. Delicious. Really? For real? Shangguan Su was somewhat incredulous. You can get used to this taste? Yes, it's really good. Adele picked up the remaining soybean juice and finished it in one go. As she drank, her taste buds became numb. She drank too quickly and couldn't help coughing. Take it easy. Don't choke. Shangguan Su stood up and gently patted her back. All done. Adele put the empty bowl on the table. Do you want another bowl? Shangguan Su asked. Adele quickly waved her hands. No. Just one bowl is filling enough for me. Shangguan Su said with some surprise. I didn't expect you to get used to the taste of soybean juice. Many of my colleagues from other places can't stand it. Adele said with a smile. I'm not picky. I'm easy to please. After finishing the soybean juice, the 2 of them went to other places to have fun. At noon, the 4 of them assembled at the entrance of National Beauty. It was Adele's first time at National Beauty, and as soon as she entered, she was amazed. Oh my God, is this a place to eat? It's so beautiful. What kind of clothes are they wearing? An Yang explained. These are Hanfu, the traditional attire of the Han nationality. I want to wear it too, An Yang said with a smile. They'll give you a set when we go back home. Really? Adele looked at An Yang with surprise. Really? An Yang nodded. You're the best sister. Adele excitedly hugged An Yang's arm. The 4 of them went up to the 3rd floor of National Beauty, and Adele was once again full of emotion at the stunning view of the 3rd floor. Actually, before returning to China, her impression of the country could be summed up in 3 words. Dirty, chaotic, broken. After returning to China, she realized what the substance of a country was. A country with profound cultural heritage, no matter how battered by storms, war and smoke, stands tall, endlessly charming. This spirit, this substance is something that Western countries don't have. And Yang ordered a lot of dishes. First came the pre-meal desserts. Exquisite mousse cakes, delicious double-skim milk, and refreshing sugarcane and pomelo dessert. Adele enjoyed them immensely, having never eaten such delicious desserts before. After the desserts, the main dishes started to come out. Not only were these dishes tasty, but the presentation and plating were top-notch. Sister, can I come here to eat again tomorrow? After eating, Adele asked somewhat reluctantly. Although the meals at the Ni family's home were also delicious, the limited kitchen tools at home couldn't make such delectable desserts. Every girl loves desserts, and Adele is no exception. Yang nodded. Sure, but I might not have time to join you tomorrow. They'll give you the membership card, and you can ask someone else in the family to come with you. Having a car at home, it was quite convenient for Adele if she wanted to come. Okay, no problem. After the meal, Yang and Mo Chishan went to watch a movie. Adele still followed behind Shangguan-su. She really liked Shangguan-su so much that even doing nothing, just standing by his side, felt incredibly satisfying. The next day, Adele hitched a ride with Shangguan-su into town. Originally, she wanted to bring Jonathan and Luana with her, but recently Jonathan got fascinated with gardening. Luana, along with Madame Shangguan and Mrs. Zhang, got hooked on playing mahjong, setting up their stools under the big banyan tree at the village entrance whenever they were free. Zhao Yu had classes at the training center, and little Ni Yun was too young, so she had to come by herself. Shangguan-su was somewhat concerned about her being alone. Adele, did you bring your pager? Adele nodded, pulling out the pager. I have it, Shangguan-su continued. If you can't find the way or run into any trouble later, remember to beat me. Okay. Adele continued nodding. After discussing a few things, Shangguan-su drove off to the bank, leaving Adele to stroll the streets by herself, planning to finish her walk and then go to National Beauty for a meal before going home. Source: web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1129. May you gather much. This object most evokes longing. 3. Wu Yenyun was worrying about not finding a chance to meet Adele alone, but unexpectedly, she ran into her on the street today. Wu Yenyun was very happy, ready to seize this opportunity to reveal the true faces of the Ni family in front of Adele. She lowered her head to straighten up her clothing before approaching to start a conversation. Hello. Adele was first stunned. Then she replied, Hello. Wu Yenyun continued. Are you Ni Yang's sister, Adele? Do you know me? Adele was surprised. Wu Yenyun smiled. There's a tea house ahead. Let's go have some tea. Adele, seeing that Wu Yenyun looked pretty and didn't seem like a bad person, nodded in agreement. Upon arriving at the tea house, Wu Yenyun ordered a pot of Longjing tea. This is Longjing tea, a green tea from China, very fragrant. I bet you've never tried it before? Adele replied, I have tasted it. My sister also brewed some before, but she made tiguanyin, which smells similar to this one. Sister? Hearing this word, Wu Yanyun's expression dimmed. Is your sister Ni Yang? Yes. Adele nodded. Do you know my sister? Wu Yenyun took a sip of tea, looking up at Adele. Actually, I am also your sister. What? Adele's eyes widened, looking at Wu Yenyun. A sneer curved on Wu Yanyun's lips. We are the same, both pitiful people abandoned by others. Pitiful? Adele frowned. I don't feel pitiful at all. Adele never felt pitiful. She was thankful for the people who appeared in her life. You were abandoned right after birth. Don't you think you are pitiful? Wu Yenyun looked incredulously at Adele. Adele shook her head. Not pitiful at all. What? Wu Yenyun furrowed her brows tightly. thinking Adele might be out of her mind. Pausing, Wu Yenyun continued. If you hadn't been thrown away when you were a child, you could have had a better life. All the hardships you've faced are because they threw you away. Adele remained unexpressive. Before she was 3 years old, she had lived in an orphanage. The orphanage had many children, and the director could not take care of every child personally. Later, she was taken back to M country by her grandparents. Her grandparents were very kind to her, treating her as their own, but initially, everything in M country was strange to her, especially the language barrier. Eventually, after overcoming the language barrier and starting school, she faced severe racial discrimination. To avoid being bullied, she trained hard in various combat skills. Was it tough? Definitely tough. But Adele never felt it was tough. She saw it as a test from fate. She wanted to face challenges head-on, never bowing down to fate. Later, she finally mastered the combat skills. Although not extremely exceptional, she was more than capable of handling her peers. Looking at Wu Yenyun, Adele seemed to recall something. Oh, I know you. You are Sister Yenyun, right? Mom and sister mentioned you to me. Regarding Wu Yenyun, Ni Yang and Ni Tsuehua did not hide anything from Adele. Did they badmouth me to you? Wu Yenyun retorted. Badmouth? Adele shook her head. No, they just said there was a bit of misunderstanding between you and them. You knew about that incident? Wu Yenyun's voice trembled. Which incident? Adele was confused. That incident. The incident Wu Yenyun couldn't speak openly about. They must have told Adele. Now, in Adele's eyes, she was a sister with questionable character. A bad sister. A sister who had an abortion, who was frivolous. Adele was bewildered. She didn't know which incident Wu Yenyun was referring to, because Ni Yang and Ni Tsuehua had never mentioned the incident about Wu Yenyun being deceived by thugs and going for an abortion. Adele had also never heard anyone else mention it. You really don't know? Wu Yenyun looked up at Adele, squinting her eyes. I don't know. Adele shook her head, then added, Is there something else I don't know about? Stop pretending. I know you know. Wu Yenyun, her eyes red, said, You must be laughing at me in your heart, thinking I'm just a bad girl. I'm shameless. Ni Yang was really too much. Why should Ni Yang spread her private agony everywhere? Source, web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1130 May you gather much. This object most evokes longing _4. What right does Ni Yang have to do this? Does Ni Yang have to make it widely known and let everyone look down on her? What are you talking about? I really don't know. Adele became anxious and a bit scared. She didn't understand why Wu Yenyun would suddenly become like this. This Wu Yenyun, with a fierce expression, was somewhat terrifying. Just calm down and speak properly. Adele reached out to hold Wu Yenyun's hand. In this world, there's no problem that can't be solved and no misunderstanding that can't be explained. Some things are better once they're talked out. Having said that, Adele continued, Sister Yenyun, I know you have hatred in your heart, but hatred is like a snowball. The more it rolls, the bigger it gets. When you hold a grudge against someone, your mind short-circuits, often trapping yourself in a loop. You become imbalanced and narrow-minded. As the snowball of hatred grows bigger, your life and your future become worse. Perhaps because of different childhood educations, Adele's thinking was more open. She would consider issues from a macroscopic perspective. When your perspective broadens, the points of contradiction and value of hatred all become smaller. Conversely, the closer you are to something, the more problems you see, and your mood also changes accordingly. So, your vision decides the pattern of your life. The larger your heart, the bigger the world you see. Those with petty minds will never achieve greatness. Do you know what kind of person Ni Yang is? And you say this to me? Wu Yenyun retorted. Adele said, I think sister is a very good person. She is kind and beautiful. Kind beautiful? The past Wu Yenyun also thought Yang was such a person. But now, when she hears these adjectives, all she feels is disgust. Because kindness and beauty have nothing to do with Yang. You're wrong, utterly wrong. Wu Yenyun tried to calm herself down, adding, Yang is a hypocrite. Her kindness, her beauty, all a facade. She's venomous at heart. For the sake of benefit, she'd even scheme against her own sister. She doesn't deserve to be called a sister. What? Hearing this, Adele stood up with some dissatisfaction. How can you say that about sister? She's not the kind of person you describe. Although Yang and Tsuehua hadn't detailed Wu Yanyan's matters, these days Adele had gone to ask Shangguan Shi, Shangguan Su, and others about it. After all, Wu Yenyun was her sister too, and she was very curious about her. The things she found out told her that Yang had already been good enough to Wu Yenyun. The Wu family's construction company was funded by Yang, and even though Wu Yenyun and Yang had fallen out, Yang still hadn't withdrawn her support for the construction company. Could be said that without Yang, there wouldn't be the Wu family of today. She is. You don't understand her at all. Wu Yenyun cried out loud. Adele took a tissue from her pocket and handed it to Wu Yenyun. Sister Yenyun, wipe your tears first. Wu Yenyun didn't take it but said, if you acknowledge Yang as your sister, then you have no right to call me sister. I don't need a sister like you. You're too extreme. Wu Yenyun continued. It's you who are too materialistic. All you care about is the Ni family's wealth. Yes, the Ni family is rich, but that doesn't mean you can forsake your dignity just for some extraneous possessions. By doing this, you only make me look down on you. What are you talking about? Adele suddenly found herself not understanding Wu Yanyan's words. Don't you understand what I'm saying? Adele shook her head. Wu Yenyun went on. I'm saying you despise the poor and love the rich, being vain and superficial. You have your own two hands. Why don't you work hard yourself? Everything you want, you will have in the future. Why do you suck up to a bunch of disgusting people? If you keep going like this, you'll end up just like them. Adele then said, oh, I get it now. You think I'm reuniting with my parents and sister for the money, right? Isn't it? Said Wu Yenyun. If it wasn't for money, Adele wouldn't be defending Yang and the Ni family at all costs. After all, the real victim here is her. Why should everyone side with Yang? Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1131 May you gather much, this object most evokes longing _5. Can't they all see? Not at all. Adele shook her head. I don't understand why you would think that way, nor do I get why you have such a strange thought. Anyway, it's not for the money that I acknowledged my parents and sister Yenyun. Don't make yourself out to be so noble. You just love money. Adele continued to shake her head. Sister Yenyun, you're really being too extreme. I think you should go see a psychologist. They can help you talk it through. If this continues, you'll become depressed. Westerners speak quite straightforwardly, and Adele is no exception. Given Wu Yanyan's current state, she really should see a psychologist. Depression is terrifying, and if severe, it can be fatal or lead to a misguided path. Psychologist. Again with the psychologist. Wu Yenyun was immediately provoked. Are these also Yang's words that you're saying to me? Did Yang discover me yesterday? Did she deliberately send you to humiliate me? It must be Yang, because Yang had suggested she see a psychologist before, and now Adele said the same. Why must Yang always be at odds with her? Why? Is she so jealous of her own well-being? No, these are all my own words. Did I say anything incorrect? Adele was slightly bemused. Stop pretending, Wu Yenyun said angrily. None of you have experienced my pain. What right do you have to stand on a moral high ground and judge me? If it were you in my shoes, you might not be as magnanimous. Because of Yang, How much suffering had she endured? Yet, she hadn't done anything to Ni Yang. She hadn't even taken a yuan from the Ni family, but they kept accusing her of wrongdoing. Where did she go wrong? Her mistake was probably coming into this world in the first place. Adele slightly frowned. Shakespeare once said that those who control their own fate stand at both ends of the balance, while those controlled by fate only know that God has given them their destiny. In fact, everyone holds their fate in their hands. Only those who don't believe in fate can live their best life. If Adele believed in fate, she would now be the second Martha, a Martha who faced violence every day. Sister Yenyun, calm down and think about whether what I said is right. I told you I'm not your sister. If you had a shred of shame or confidence, you would not call me sister anymore. Wu Yenyun suddenly stood up from the table, took out 5 yuan from her pocket, threw it on the table and walked away. She never expected that meeting Adele today would turn out this way. This Adele, for the sake of money, for wealth and honor, had abandoned her own dignity. She really had no right to be her sister. Adele watched Wu Yanyun's retreating back, speechless for a moment. Not calling wouldn't hurt. After all, her impression of this sister was extremely bad. After returning home, Adele mentioned the incident to Ni Yang. Ni Yang's reaction was flat, but Zhao Yu was very agitated. My God, this Wu Yenyun has no shame. She was astonished. Upon finishing, Zhao Yu looked at Adele and continued, Third aunt, do you want to listen to Wu Yanyun's stories? Yes. Adele nodded. If you do, come over there. They'll tell you everything, every single detail. Zhao Yu pulled Adele under the osmanthus tree in the yard. Zhao Yu told her everything about Wu Yenyun almost being sold, Wu Yanyun's bird-killing spree in a fit of rage, and so on. Adele only knew that Ni Yang had funded the Wu family's construction company and helped them out of poverty. She never knew that so much else had happened in between. Looking at it this way, Wu Yenyun really went too far. Zhao Yu, in tears, said, Third aunt, you don't know how adorable the bird named Duo was. It could speak, dance, was charming and suave. But in the end, it was killed by Wu Yenyun, sob sob sob. Adele did not know how to comfort her, so she could only say, A dead bird cannot be revived. Don't be too sad. Zhao Yu hugged Adele, crying even harder. Time flies. Another week had quickly passed. During this period, Zhao Yu often loved to take books to Deming Pavilion, asking Grandpa Du whenever she encountered something she did not understand. Because Mo Chishan had asked her to keep him company when she had nothing to do. After all, she had had a good relationship with Grandpa Du since the time she was Duo. Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1132 May you gather much. This object most evokes longing _6. Dude. What character is this? Since the time when Zhao Yu got a taste of Dude's ruthlessness, he dared not to call Dude a little jerk anymore. Ing. It was really too scary. Thinking back on his past self, Zhao Yu felt he was truly like a fearless calf that knows nothing of the tiger's might. Adorably foolish. Dude looked at the pair of hands draped over his shoulder with a bit of helplessness. Can you not stand so close to me? Zhao Yu said speechlessly. We're all men here. What's there to be afraid of? Dude unemotionally pushed Zhao Yu's hand away, keeping his distance. This is the character Ben in its rare form, which is homophonic to run and also means to sprint. Zhao Yu scratched his head. This is too difficult. It's just too hard. Being human is really exhausting. You're just too dumb, said Dude, twirling the Buddha beads, without mincing words. Zhao Yu suddenly noticed that the Buddha beads in Dude's hands were different from usual. These beads were very red, shining brightly, making Dude's hands appear even fairer and more slender. Did you change your Buddha beads? What are these made of? The color is so pretty. Dude's expression remained unchanged. They are called blood Bodhi. Zhao Yu reached out her hand. Can I take a look? No. Dude refused directly. His sense of territory was too strong. No ordinary person should even think about touching his belongings. Humph! Stingy. Zhao Yu rolled her eyes at him. But what the heck is blood Bodhi? Zhao Yu continued to ask. Blood Bodhi is blood Bodhi, dude replied, his tone indifferent, not wanting to explain any further. Zhao Yu was really too curious. She remembered the name Blood Bodhi and went to look it up in books later on, finally finding such an explanation. Blood Bodhi is also known as sea red beans. There's a poem about it. Sea red beans grow in the south, budding a few branches in spring. I hope you pick more, for this thing evokes the deepest longing. Later, Zhao Yu found another line of poetry. The exquisite dice admit sea red beans, deep longing, do you know or not? Both poems suggest that sea red beans symbolize longing. 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 Zhao Yu rested her head on her left hand. Who could dude be longing for? Zhao Yu thought hard but couldn't come up with an answer. For someone like dude who might fall for another person seemed bizarre in itself. Maybe she was wrong. Perhaps dude didn't wear the beads because they symbolized longing? Zhao Yu lifted her head to look out the window, where the moon was large and round, casting a layer of radiance over the earth, accompanied by the pleasant sound of frogs. Lulled by the frog chorus, it wasn't long before Zhao Yu drifted into dreamland. The 8th day of the 7th lunar month is a good day. Today, Wu Chenjin's parents and grandparents were visiting the Ni family. The parents and elders from both sides sat together to discuss the wedding date for the two children. After unanimous decision by the parents, the wedding date was set for the 18th day of the 8th lunar month. There was more than a month left from now, providing ample time to prepare various things. Wu Chenjun was in high spirits due to the joyful occasion. He didn't expect that he and Shangguan Zai's day would come so soon. Shangguan Shi also didn't expect that, in the end, she would walk down the aisle with Wu Chenjun. And I Yang, smiling, said, Sister Xiaoxi, you don't need to buy roses for the wedding. Just have people cut them directly from the flower fields when the time comes, and after the wedding ceremony, they can be reused. Mo Qishan, with his arm around Ni Yang's shoulder, added, Also, don't worry about the wedding dress and groom's suit. I've ordered a set to be customized from France. Shangguan Zai's smile was tinged with shy delight. Wu Chenjun said, Then thank you, future brother-in-law. Although Mo Qishan's reputation in Beijing had hit rock bottom, Wu Chenjun didn't look down on Mo Qishan in the slightest. He had a feeling that Mo Qishan was a person who kept his cards close to his chest. Does your average Joe have connections to order wedding dresses from France? Mo Qishan said, We're all family here. No need for formalities. Wu Chenjun followed up on that. Xiaoxi and I are getting married soon. When are you and Yang planning to hold the event? Mo Qishan turned his gaze towards Ni Yang. That depends on Yang. I'm not in a hurry. Oh, you're not in a hurry? Well, I'm not in a hurry either. Ni Yang quipped, raising her eyebrows slightly. Now Mo Qishan was thrown off balance and immediately said, I am in a hurry. Isn't it okay if I'm in a hurry? You're in a hurry? Ni Yang looked up at Mo Qishan. Yes, I'm in a hurry. Mo Qishan nodded slightly. Ni Yang deliberately teased him. Then I'm not in a hurry. Mo Qishan. Shangguan Shi couldn't help but laugh. Yang, stop teasing him. Time flew by, and before they knew it, it was almost the day of Shangguan Shi and Wu Chenjin's wedding. The night before the wedding, Ni Tsuehua came to Shangguan Zai's bedroom. Mom, it's so late. Is there something you need? Ni Tsuehua smiled and said, Nothing major. Just wanted to have a chat with you. Then sit down, please. Shangguan Shi patted the bed beside her. Ni Tsuehua sat on the edge of the bed, and taking Shangguan Zai's hand in hers, said, Xiaoxi, I'm truly thankful to the heavens for giving me such a sensible and beautiful daughter like you. I'm also very happy that, all along, you've treated me as if I were your biological mother. They say that being a stepmother is difficult, but Ni Tsuehua has never felt the meaning of this saying with Shangguan Shi and Shangguan Su. These two kids were too sensible. From the first day she was with Shangguan Dehui, they never caused her any worry. Now that Shangguan Shi was about to get married and leave as a mother, she really couldn't bear to part with her. Mom, What are you talking about? Since you married Dad. You're my mom. And besides, you've been wonderful. There's a saying that empathy begets kindness. You've been good to us, and it's only right that we are good to you too. Also, I want to thank you. It's your presence that's brought warmth to our home. And it's you who made my brother and I feel maternal love and the warmth of a family. Saying this, Shangguanxi reached out and hugged Enai Tsuehua. Enai Qihua's eyes reddened slightly. Xiaoxi, thank you. It's me who should be thanking you. Before Enai Tsuehua arrived, the Shangguan family was like scattered sand. The house always felt cold and icy. It was Enai Tsuehua who made this home feel more real. Silly child, don't cry. You're going to be a bride. If you cry and swell up your eyes, it won't do for putting on makeup tomorrow. Enai Tsuehua wiped away Shangguanzai's tears. Mom, don't cry either. Enai Tsuehua nodded. Okay. Mom won't cry. After saying that, Enai Tsuehua imparted some words about respecting her in-laws to Shangguanxi, then took out a passbook and handed it to Shangguanxi. Shangguanxi was startled. What are you doing? Enai Tsuehua said with a smile. It's just a little something from me. It's not much money, but just accept it. Mom, I can't take this. Shangguanxi refused. Shangguan Dehui had already transferred all of the Shangguan family's assets into her name. How could she take Enai Qihua's money at a time like this? Enai Tsuehua said, Xiaoxi, if you truly think of me as your mother, then keep the passbook. Shangguanxi dared not refuse any longer. Enai Tsuehua continued, no matter what, us women must stand tall and not let anyone look down on us. No need to go asking men for money. Keep this money for now, and if there's an emergency in the future, you can use it then. Although it's not a lot, it may come in handy in a pinch. Okay. Shangguanxi nodded. Saying she wasn't moved would be a lie. Source, web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1133 Wedding Surprise. Seeing that Shangguanxi no longer refused, Enai Tsuehua also sighed with relief. Xiaoxi, even though you are about to get married, you must remember, this will always be your home. We will always be your family. If Chinjun ever dares to bully you, just come back and tell us. No matter when, we will always be your strongest support. The saying that a married daughter is like spilled water does not apply here at Enai Qihua's. In her early life, she suffered from favoritism towards males over females, and now she absolutely won't allow her daughter to endure such injustice. Mom, I know, thank you, Shangguanxi said, holding back tears which once again started to flow. Before Enai Tsuehua married into the family, Shangguanxi had heard colleagues and friends talk about the tale of the wasp's tail and the stepmother's heart. Initially, she was somewhat uneasy. Later, she realized she had been worrying unnecessarily. With Enai Tsuehua, she felt the long-lost maternal love and experienced the warmth that a home should have, something she had never truly experienced before. Mom, thank you. Shangguanxi hugged Enai Tsuehua. Silly child. What are you thanking Mom for? Enai Tsuehua patted Shangguanzai's back gently. It's getting late. You need to get up early tomorrow, so go to sleep soon. Shangguanxi nodded. After Enai Tsuehua left, Shangguanxi opened her passbook and was shocked by the number on it. The passbook actually had a 7-figure savings. Enai Tsuehua was a good mother. Her food factory currently had very stable monthly earnings, which she divided into 2 parts, giving 1 part to Adele and 1 to Shangguanxi. The future money was all set aside for other children. She never favored one over another. Enai Tsuehua went to the room, and just as Shangguan Dehui came out of the bathroom, he asked, Daya, where have you been? Enai Tsuehua walked to the vanity to remove her makeup. I went to chat with Xiaoxi for a while. Oh, Shangguan Dehui nodded, pulled back the quilt to get into bed. Time flies so quickly. In my memory, Xiaoxi is still a little toddler who can't even walk steadily, and now she's about to get married. Enai Tsuehua smiled. You've gotten old too. Shangguan de Hui was stunned. Aren't you also old? And Ai Tsuehua turned to look at Shangguan de Hui. I am younger than you by several years. Don't you know that? Shangguan de Hui said, What does it matter if you are younger? In the end, you still married me. And Ai Tsuehua. She never realized before Shangguan de Hui could be so skilled with his words. She had always thought of him as a polite scholar. Soon after Anai Tsuehua left, Anai Yang also arrived at Shangguan Zai's room. Sister Xiaoxi. Yang Yang. Shangguan she sniffed and got off the bed. Anai Yang smiled. Sister Xiaoxi, you don't need to get up. They'll just sit for a bit and then leave. With that, Anai Yang continued, Sister Xiaoxi, you're going to be a bride tomorrow. How are you feeling? Are you excited? Shangguan she gestured slightly. A little bit excited. But more than that, she was reluctant to leave this home. Anai Yang handed the gift she had prepared to Shangguan she. Sister Xiaoxi, this is my wedding gift to you. Do you like it? Shangguan she took the gift box, opened it, and covered her mouth in surprise. Inside the box lay a complete set of diamond jewelry, shining under the light with a dazzling spectrum of colors. Yang Yang, this gift is too precious. Shangguan she, being a genuine socialite, of course knew the value of the diamond set was not insignificant. Just the diamond on the necklace alone was about 5 carats. Diamonds signify eternity and are indestructible, making them a very meaningful wedding gift. And Ai Yang raised an eyebrow and countered. Can it be more precious than the sisterly affection between you and me? Thank you, Yang Yang. I really like it. Oh, there is one more thing I forgot to bring, Sister Xiaoxi. Wait for me. Before Shangguan she could react, Anai Yang had already disappeared towards the doorway. Shortly after, Anai Yang returned holding 2 red paper bags. Sister Xiaoxi, this is also for you. What is this? Shangguan she asked. Just open it and you'll see. Shangguan she opened the paper bags and was shocked again. Inside the boxes in the 2 paper bags were all gold jewelry. Gold bracelets, gold necklaces, gold earrings, altogether weighing more than 20 pounds. Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1134 Wedding Surprise _2. Anai Yang continued, Sister Xiaoxi, don't laugh at me for being tacky. Though gold isn't pretty, it has the potential to appreciate. Right now, it's only a few dozen yuan per gram, but in the future, it might sell for hundreds of yuan per gram, and it holds its value much better than diamonds. In the future, the price of gold peaked at 450 yuan per gram. More than 20 kilograms of gold is also a significant fortune. By the way, I'm also giving you this house. Anai Yang took out a property title deed. The houses Anai Yang bought are all located in the city center, and each one in the future is worth a fortune. Yang Yang, they'll keep the diamond jewelry, but I can't accept anything else. Shangguan she refused. The gifts from Anai Yang were really too valuable. With diamonds, gold, and houses, Shangguan she felt overwhelmed. Sister Xiaoxi, if you don't want them, you'll make me think that I haven't given enough. I'm going to be angry. Anai Yang pretended to be upset. With that, Anai Yang took Shangguan Zai's hand. Sister Xiaoxi, please accept them. Consider it a little gesture from me as your younger sister. It wouldn't be right for you, my older sister, to get married while I, your younger sister, didn't contribute anything at all, would it? A generous dowry could give Shangguan she more confidence at her in-laws' place. Shangguan she didn't refuse, thinking about doubling the gifts when Anai Yang gets married. After Anai Yang left, Shangguan Su also came to talk to Shangguan Shi, and as a brother, his gifts were no less lavish than Anai Yang's. Then there was Adele, who was also very generous. By the end, the 3 elders of the family also came together, and that evening Shangguan she received so many gifts that her hands went numb. Zhao Yu, being the poor one in the family with no savings, had recently been learning calligraphy from Master Zhang and decided to write a piece to give to Shangguan Shi. Zuoling was stunned when he heard the news of Shangguan Zai's upcoming marriage. How long had it been? How long had it been since Shangguan Shi broke up with him? How could she be marrying someone else already? Thinking of Shangguan Zai's family background and recalling his own recent hardships, Zuoling felt unbearable and went out to drown his sorrows in alcohol all night. Big Brother Zua. As Zuoling lay his head down on the table, somewhat drowsy, a gentle female voice came from above. He looked up and saw a blurry face. Who is this? Zuoling rubbed his eyes. Who are you? Don't you recognize me, Big Brother Zua? The young woman sat across from him and poured a drink. Zuoling burped. Who are you? Do I know you? It's Wu Yenyun. Before Wu Yenyun had a fallout with the Ni family, she had shared a meal with Shangguan Shi and Zuoling at the same table, so she knew Zuoling and was aware that he was Shangguan Zai's ex-boyfriend. Wu Yenyun. Zuoling paused. Then, as if remembering something, "Oh, it's you. You're Shangguan Zai's sister. What are you doing here? Are you here to laugh at me? Get lost." Zuoling suddenly became agitated, his expression turning fierce. Wu Yanyun's smile remained unchanged. "I am Wu Yenyun, but am not Shangguan Zai's sister. Am just like you. We both have been abandoned by others." Zuoling stood up, swaying, and pointed at Wu Yenyun. "You're not Shangguan Zai's sister. You're an Yang's sister. Did your sister send you here? Is she making you come here to mock me?" Wu Yanyun's expression turned sinister in that instant. "She doesn't deserve to be my sister, and Yang doesn't deserve it. She has no right." Zuoling froze, then slapped his head hard. What's going on? He remembered those deep feelings between Yang and Wu Yenyun. When did they turn against each other? Could he be mistaken? "Wu Yenyun, what kind of game are you playing with me?" Wu Yenyun kept staring at Zuoling. Big Brother Zua, getting dumped by Shangguan Shi, marrying a fat woman instead. Aren't you very resentful? This was indeed a sore spot for Zuoling, and now it was being openly stated by Shangguan Shi, igniting rage in his heart instantly. Before Zuoling could explode, Wu Yenyun continued, "Big Brother Zua, do you know who caused all this? It was Yang. Yang instigated the breakup between you and Shangguan Shi, and also that Li Tong. You would never guess Li Tong is actually Yang's good friend. It was Yang who deliberately sent Li Tong to seduce you." Source: Web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1135 Wedding Surprise _3. If it weren't for Yang, you would be the one marrying Shangguan Shi now, and you would be the one basking in success. It's all Yang's fault. All her doing. Watching Zuoling's expression change bit by bit, Wu Yenyun continued, "Big Brother Zua, do you know how great Shangguan Zai's family is? Now, Shangguan Dehui has handed all the Shangguan family's properties to Shangguan Shi. In the future, Shangguan Shi will be the highest leader in the Shangguan group. If you hadn't broken up with Shangguan Shi, that highest leader would have been you. It was Yang who ruined you." The last sentence was full of deep hatred. She hated Yang. She wished to see Yang's family ruined and destroyed. Why should she bear all the suffering alone? She wanted Yang to share the pain with her. Yang, that bitch. Zuoling was completely enraged, grabbing a wine bottle and hurling it to the ground. Bang, the wine bottle shattered into pieces. Indeed, if Shangguan Shi hadn't broken up with him initially, all of this would have been his. All his. Oh, right. Wu Yenyun continued to provoke Zuoling's emotions. "Big Brother Zua, do you know who Shangguan Shi is marrying?" "Who?" Zuoling looked at Wu Yenyun. "It's Wu Chenjun. Wu Chenjun has a very good family background. He grew up with Shangguan Shi. But Shangguan Shi doesn't love Wu Chenjun. If she did, she would have been with Wu Chenjun long ago. Why bother being with you for 3 years?" Zuoling narrowed his eyes. Then why is she marrying Wu Chenjun? Is Xiaoxi being forced? Wu Yenyun shook her head. She was manipulated. Do you want to know who manipulated her? Who? It's Yang. Wu Yenyun continued. And I Yang, like her mother, has always been vain. She looked down on you because you were born poor, so she tried to tarnish your reputation in front of Shangguanxi. When that failed, she worked with Li Tong to seduce you. Hearing this, Zuoling clenched his fists, trembling all over. Anger. He was so angry. He never thought that his and Shangguanxi's breakup was all orchestrated by someone. Wu Yenyun slightly curled her lips. Big brother Zua, the vengeance of losing a wife is intolerable. Do you want revenge? Do you have a way? Zuoling suddenly turned back to look at Wu Yenyun. Wu Yenyun looked at Zuoling. As long as you follow my lead, I have a way. Really? Wu Yenyun nodded. Why do you want to help me? Zuoling countered. Wu Yenyun smilingly said, because we have a common enemy. She is an I Yang. Zuoling followed up, how do you plan to help me? Wu Yenyun gestured for Zuoling to come closer with a beckoning of her little finger. Zuoling leaned his ear closer. Wu Yenyun whispered a few sentences into Zuoling's ear. Listening, Zuoling's face turned pale. Swallowing, he asked, can this really work? Why wouldn't it? Wu Yenyun continued. Big brother Zua, think about the life you're living now. Are you really content with spending your days with Chun Liebao, that fat woman? Reminded of Chun Liebao, Zuoling fell silent. He was fed up with Chun Liebao. Sometimes he even thought it would be better off dead than live in such a demeaning way. Wu Yenyun, seeing the timing is just right. Big brother Zua, instead of continuing with that fat woman, it's better to be ruthless and make a big move. This is the vengeance for losing your wife. Since the Ni family won't let you live well, why should you let them live well? They dare to bully you, to disregard you, merely because they see you as a poor nobody. But big brother Zua, although we're poor, we cannot be without spirit. We cannot let others bully us like this without a peep. We need to make them pay a bloody price too. We need to let Ni Yang know that we're not to be trifled with. Indeed, Wu Yenyun had once again provoked Zuoling. He nodded and said, all right, they'll listen to you. Wu Yenyun patted Zuoling's shoulder. Then, big brother Zua, you better go back and rest early. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay. The next day was the wedding day for Shangguanxi and Wu Chenjun. Both the bride's and the groom's families were bustling, and so many people were coming to the Ni family to offer their congratulations. The wedding process was such that the groom would arrive at the bride's home in the morning to pick up the bride. Then everyone would go together to the hotel. Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1136 Wedding Surprise _4. Shangguan family held a Western-style wedding, and Shangguan she was wearing a custom wedding dress from France. A white wedding dress that was conservative yet not without trendy elements. The hem was a floor-sweeping mermaid tail, which needed 4 little flower girls to hold it up. After changing, when Ni Yang came out of the fitting room, her eyes lit up. Wow, Sister Xiaoxi, I didn't notice you had such a great figure. A mermaid tail wedding dress required someone with an excellent figure to bring out its beauty. Shangguanxi rarely wore form-fitting clothes, so Ni Yang really hadn't realized that Shangguanxi also had a good figure. Adele said with a smile, Sister Xiaoxi is the most beautiful bride in the world today. Zhao Yu ran in with a camera. Mom, shall we take a picture with Aunt Xiaoxi? Sure, sure. Adele loved taking photos the most. How can you take photos without me? Du Jiao Jiao walked in from outside. And you can't forget about me. Liao followed in. The girls set the camera to automatic mode and took several photos around Shangguanxi as the center. After taking photos, Zhao Yu asked Du Jiao Jiao, Sister Jiao Jiao, has Lord Du arrived? Ever since the auntie incident last time, Zhao Yu hadn't called Du Jiao Jiao auntie again, because it made her seem too old. Du Jiao Jiao shook her head. He's about to become a Buddha on the spot. How could he possibly come to such a lively place? Become a Buddha on the spot? Zhao Yu asked. Is that not an exaggeration? Could a person who can't let go of earthly desires become a Buddha? Keep in mind, Lord Du still wears a string of blood Bodhi beads on his hand. You haven't interacted with him much, so it's normal you don't understand. Du Jiao continued. This man is even more monk-like than a monk. Zhao Yu stuck out her tongue. Liao continued. By the way, whose idea was it to line the roadside with roses? It's just so romantic and beautiful. Jinghua village was never short of roses, so the main road today was lined with bright red roses on both sides. Shangguanxi smiled. It was Yang Yang's idea. She was busy with my brother and Mo Qishan and several others for an entire afternoon yesterday. In summer, if roses were directly placed on the roadside, they would definitely die from the sun. So Yang specially bought many glass bottles and filled them with a special potion, not only to preserve the life of the roses, but also not to impact their reusability. Yang, your idea is pretty good. When I get married next year, I'm going to do the same. Yang nodded. If you need more hands, I can come help. Liao said with a laugh. Yang, don't tease me. You're a big leader now. Who could afford to ask for your prestigious help? Speaking of Yang's current assets, her net worth had surpassed 8 figures. It was just that she had always kept a low profile and didn't act like a capitalist. If it weren't for witnessing it herself, Liao would never believe that a girl only 19 years old could achieve so much. Moreover, she believed that Yang's achievements were far more than what they were now. Yang would only grow stronger each day. Yang swept the lock of hair beside her cheek to the back of her head, her tone light. It's actually Sister Yao who is teasing me. I'm hardly any big Buddha. Her current achievements had not yet reached 1/10 of those in her past life. She still needed to work hard. Downstairs, Gooden, Yang Guobao, and Mo Hudi were playing the blind man's bluff game with little Yun. Gooden brother. Debeo brother, Sister Shout I. Where are you guys? Little Yun, with a cloth tied over her eyes, stretched out her hands searching around. Gooden, Yang Guobao, and Mo Hudi each covered their mouths, looking at little Yun with evil grins on their faces. No one responded, and little Yun was getting anxious. This anxiety often led to trouble. Her little feet stepped on a big stone. Smack! She fell to the ground. Yun's sister. Gooden's face turned pale, and he immediately rushed over. Yun's sister, are you all right? Ha! Gooden brother. I've caught you. Little Yun hugged Gooden's neck. Now it's Gooden brother's turn to be the blind man. Gooden was still unsure of what had happened, checking little Yun's feet. Yun's sister, are you okay? Does it still hurt? Ha ha! Gooden brother is a fool. Gooden finally realized and breathed a sigh of relief. It's fine as long as you're okay. They'll be the blind man then. Yang Guobao put his hands behind his back and walked over nonchalantly. Tiske. Gooden is such a big fool. Source, web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1137 Wedding Surprise _5. Debeo, you can't call Gooden a big fool. Little Yun stood in front of Yang Guobao with her hands on her hips, declaring earnestly. Although Gooden really is a big fool, you're not allowed to say it. Only I can call Gooden a big fool. Yang Guobao chuckled. Little Yun, you're a big fool too. Little Yun responded. I've decided not to be called Little Yun from now on. I want to be called Go Yun. Debeo, you should call me Go Yun from now on. Yang Guobao thought about it seriously for a moment, then said, No, you can't be called Go Yun. Why? Yang Guobao came over and hugged Gooden's neck. Because Go is a special word between me and Gooden. Only men in our dog generation can use it. You're a girl, so you can't use Go. That's gender discrimination. Little Yun, rubbing her eyes, walked up to Gooden. Gooden, I want to be part of the dog generation too. Gooden couldn't stand to see little Yoon cry. Hurriedly said, Okay, okay. Go Yoon. From now on you'll be Go Yoon. Really? Little Yoon suddenly excited. Gooden patted little Yoon's head. Of course it's true. When has Gooden ever lied to you? But what if Debeo disagrees? Gooden continued. I'm the boss here. His opinion doesn't matter. Little Yoon immediately made a face at Yang Guobao, and then joyfully spun around on the spot. Great, great. From now on, I'm Go Yoon. I'm part of the dog generation too. Mo Hudi at the side. Are these three idiots? At this moment, little did the three know that the dog generation nicknames they were so proud of would become an embarrassing part of their past. Imagine this. A high-powered, stoic CEO. A righteous and upright diplomat. How on earth could such distinguished individuals be chased around and called Gooden and Debeo? The scene is too beautiful to even imagine. After playing the blindfolded catching game for a while, little Yoon found it boring, so the four of them played hide and seek together. The Anai family was bustling with guests today, along with the villagers from Jinghua village. The scene could really be described as packed like sardines. At the entrance of Jinghua village, Wu Yenyun had been waiting here for a long time. She was waiting for Zuoling. It had been 10 minutes past the arranged time, but there was still no sign of Zuoling. Did he chicken out at the last minute? Another 10 minutes passed, and Zuoling finally showed up, albeit late. Brother Zua, you finally came. I thought you weren't coming. Zuoling was wearing a brand new suit and trendy toed glasses. How could I not come? Let's go. Wu Yenyun nodded. Zuoling then asked, What should we do later? Wu Yenyun replied, Stick to the original plan. Zuoling nodded. Okay. Just then, Wu Yenyun seemed to smell alcohol and turned back to look at Zuoling. Have you been drinking? Yeah. As the saying goes, alcohol courageously boosts fear. He really needed a bit of liquid courage. A sneering light flashed in Wu Yanyun's eyes, and she continued, Be careful later. Make sure acquaintances don't notice us. I know. Today, at the Anai family, everything was lively. Far away, Wu Yenyun could see Anai Tsuehua and Shangguan Dehui welcoming guests. Anai Tsuehua was dressed formally today, with makeup and high heels, her smile very obvious. The saying joy rejuvenates was clearly evident on her. Wu Yenyun scoffed. Anai Tsuehua was certainly interesting, disregarding her own daughter while hosting a wedding for a stepdaughter. If unaware people saw this, they would think Shangguan she was her biological daughter. Disgusting. Hypocritical. Such a person didn't deserve happiness at all. Wu Yanyun's hand clenched tighter inside her sleeve, her sharp fingernails piercing into her palm, blood staining her nails. But Wu Yenyun seemed to feel nothing at all, as if she had lost her sense of pain. In an instant, Wu Yenyun put away the malevolence on her face and walked to the side. There, little Yun was playing hide and seek with her friends. Little Yun. Wu Yenyun squatted in front of little Yun. Little Yun paused, then excitedly said, Hey, you're Sister Yenyun. Sister, you're here too. Despite her young age, and because neither the Anai family nor Zhao Yu ever spoke ill of Wu Yenyun in front of little Yun, her impression of Wu Yenyun remained as it was before. Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1138 Wedding Surprise _6. Wu Yenyun hated no one more than Ni Yang, except for little Ni Yun. Because little Ni Yun was simply the darling of the family. Everything she ate, wore, and used was the best, and some items were even imported. Did she enjoy any of these when she was young? Starving, freezing. This was her entire childhood, and even as she grew up, she still faced these hardships. Life in the Wu family has only improved recently. Since the Ni family likes little Ni Yun so much, then she'll ruin her by her own hand. This is what they owe her. What she couldn't have, no one else should have either. She will make the entire Ni family suffer endlessly. Wu Yenyun snapped out of her thoughts and nodded with a smile. Yes, Sister Yenyun is here too. By the way, little Yunyun, your second sister knows a place that's really good at hiding people. If you come with me, they definitely won't be able to find you. How about it? Okay. Little Ni Yun nodded. So easily deceived, maybe that was just her fate. Wu Yenyun sneered. Better dead and transcended early, hoping little Ni Yun won't be reborn into the Ni family in her next life. Come with me this way. Wu Yenyun led little Ni Yun to the other side. By the way, do you want some candy from second sister? Yes. Little Ni Yun's eyes lit up. Wu Yenyun handed a piece of candy to little Ni Yun. Strawberry-flavored fruit candy. Also little Ni Yun's favorite. Very sweet. Second sister, you are so kind. Wu Yenyun smiled faintly. Gradually, little Ni Yun felt something was off and rubbed her eyes. Second sister. I'm so sleepy. Wu Yenyun carried little Ni Yun over to Zhualing. Brother Zhua, let's hurry. Zhualing took little Ni Yun. Xiaoxi hasn't come out yet. I want to see what she looks like in a wedding dress. Wu Yanyun's expression turned cold. Do you want to be discovered by others? Just a glance. Wu Yenyun furrowed her brows. No, go with me. What's there to see in a woman who has changed her heart? Don't forget, she's getting married to someone else today. Hearing this, Zhualing's expression changed. Right? Shangguan Shi is going to marry someone else. What was he lingering for? He will make Shangguan Shi remember this day for the rest of her life. Zhualing hardened his heart and turned around with little Ni Yun in his arms. Wu Yenyun finally breathed a sigh of relief. Upon reaching the village entrance, Wu Yenyun continued, I've got the person for you. What happens next is up to you. I'm going back. Zhualing nodded. Wu Yenyun walked a few steps, then turned back to look at Zhualing. Brother Zhua, remember my words. Don't be weak and merciful. Little Ni Yun might be young, but she's no good thing. We are ridding the people of a nuisance. I know. Wu Yenyun went on. Brother Zhua, remember this sentence. Kindness to others is cruelty to oneself. Zhualing continued nodding. After saying all this, Wu Yenyun got on the bus home. Zhualing also walked away with little Ni Yun. At the Ni family, Debao the cat sensed something was wrong, because he had found both Yang Guobao and Mo Hudi, but not little Ni Yun. Debao, Sister Xiaodai. Little Yun Yun seems to have disappeared. No way. Mo Hudi was startled. I'll go upstairs and tell sister now. Yang Guobao said. Debao, let's look for little Ni Yun together. Upstairs. Ni Yang inexplicably felt her heart racing. Yang, I think I just saw Zhualing. Shangguan Shi came over from the corridor, looking uneasily at Ni Yang. She had a bad feeling about seeing Zhualing at such a time. Zhualing. Ni Yang squinted her eyes. Sister Xiaoxi, don't overthink it. I'll go check it out. As Ni Yang reached the top of the stairs, she saw Debao running up panting. Sister Ni Yang, what's wrong, Debao? Why are you running so fast? Debao was close to tears. Sister Ni Yang, little Yun Yun is missing. What? Ni Yang's face turned pale. She took Debao's hand and began to walk. Debao, don't panic. Tell me what happened just now. Source, web novel. Com. Updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1139 found Zhualing seeing Ni Yang. Gooden felt inexplicably reassured and quickly recounted what had happened. We were just playing hide and seek with Debao and Sister Xiaodai, but although I found both Debao and Sister Xiaodai, I couldn't find little Yun Yun. I checked all her usual hiding spots. Ni Yang tightly held Gooden's hand. Gooden, now take me to the place where you were playing hide and seek just now. Okay. Gooden nodded. The place where the kids were playing hide and seek was right in front of the Ni family's courtyard. Some people were chatting away, others playing cards, all bustling with activity. When Zueling appeared at the wedding, and Yang already felt that something was amiss. Now, with Gooden running over to say little Yun was missing, a sense of foreboding suddenly surged in Yang's heart. Could little Yun's disappearance be related to Zueling? But to little Yun, Zueling was a stranger. Little Yun was always cautious and would never follow a stranger. If Zueling had forcibly taken little Yun away, she would definitely be crying nonstop. If little Yun cried, others would hear her. Besides relatives from the Ni family and the Shangguan family, there were villagers from Jinghua village present. They all knew little Yun. It made no sense for little Yun to be crying nonstop without anyone hearing. Considering this, Yang narrowed her eyes. There were only 3 answers Yang could think of right now. 1. Little Yun was taken somewhere to play by someone. 2. She was lured away by someone she knew, who then handed her over to Zueling. 3. She fell asleep in some corner because of the hide-and-seek game. Each of these situations was possible. Seeing that Yang's expression was somewhat off, Mo Chishan, who was helping with the dowry, hurried over and asked, Yang, what's wrong? Yang glanced around and whispered, Yun is missing. What? Yang quickly stepped on tiptoes and covered Mo Chishan's mouth. Brother Mo, keep your voice down. Don't let others hear for now, especially Sister Xiaoxi and Brother Chenjun. After all, today was Shangguan Shi and Wu Chenjun's wedding, a once-in-lifetime event for Shangguan Shi. Yang didn't want to scare her. After all, the Wu family was still waiting for their new bride. There was only such an auspicious time in a year, and if missed, one would have to wait till next year. Mo Chishan nodded slightly. Okay, I got it. I'll arrange for people to start searching immediately. Yang, don't panic yet. Although Yang was very anxious, she had to calm down. Right, Brother Mo. I heard Sister Xiaoxi say Zueling came to the wedding. You have someone check at Zueling's place first and also get Wu Yenyun involved. Yang had been doing business and had not made enemies with anyone. Moreover, she led everyone to prosper together, so the villagers from nearby villages all had a very good impression of her. They had no reason to harm little Yun. So the only person Yang could think of was Wu Yenyun. The most crucial point was that Wu Yenyun had always harbored deep resentment against them, and little Yun had no guard against Wu Yenyun. If Wu Yenyun indeed harbored malicious intent, it would be much more convenient for her to act than others. Okay, Yang said, then we'll split up to act. I'll go and inform my parents. Tsuehua was entertaining guests with Shangguan Dehui. Yang walked over, took Shangguan Dehui's hand. Dad, could you come over for a minute? I have something to tell you. Okay. Seeing that Yang's expression was off, Shangguan Dehui immediately walked aside with her. Yang mentioned the matter about little Yun to Shangguan Dehui. Upon hearing this, Shangguan Dehui's face immediately changed color. Yang continued, Dad, quietly tell Mom about this. No matter what, it mustn't affect the normal progress of the wedding. Also, don't tell the grandpas and grandmas. Let's ask the 3 elders to entertain the guests for now, and then we'll go to the police station to report. Just at that moment, Tsuehua walked out with 2 bags of wedding candies. What are you father and daughter talking about? Mom, come here a moment. Yang gestured to Tsuehua. Tsuehua smiled and said, What's the matter? Why so secretive? Yang repeated the story. As soon as she finished speaking, the smile on Kuihua's face froze at her lips. Yang held Kuihua's hand. Mom, don't panic yet. Brother Mo has already arranged for people to search. Now, please go and tell the grandpas and grandmas. Just say we have to leave for a bit. It's a bit troubling, but please have them continue entertaining the guests. Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1140 found Zueling _2. Okay, I'll go right now. and Ai Tsuehua held back her tears and put a smile back on her face. Immediately after speaking, and Ai Tsuehua hastily turned around and left. And Ai Yang went upstairs to find Zhao Yu. Duo, do you still have any bird brothers around? Yes, what's up? Zhao Yu didn't know about the incident with little Ni Yun yet. Originally, Ai Yang didn't want to tell Zhao Yu about little Ni Yun because Zhao Yu has a quick mouth, can't keep things to himself, and he's very fond of little Ni Yun. She was afraid that Zhao Yu might accidentally let it slip. But now, there were some things that only Zhao Yu could help with, so Ai Yang had no choice but to tell him. As expected, after hearing the news, Zhao Yu was extremely anxious. Then I'll get my brothers and sisters to look for little Yun Yun right now. Yang, do you think little Yun Yun could have gotten into trouble? No way. And Ai Yang grabbed Zhao Ye's hand and continued, by the way, Duo, in order to ensure that today's wedding goes smoothly, we absolutely must not let Sister Xiaoxi and others find out about this. Seeing Ai Yang's serious expression, Zhao Yu nodded hurriedly. Okay, Yang, don't worry, I won't tell anyone else. Then if you find out any news, call for me immediately. I have to go out for a bit now. After speaking with Ai Yang, Zhao Yu immediately went outside and blew a few whistles, summoning a big flock of bird brothers. Inside the house, Ai Tsuehua briefly explained to the three elders that they needed to step out but did not mention little Ni Yun's disappearance. Ai Yang was right. Both families' relatives were here today and under no circumstance should they impact Shangguan Zai's wedding. Although Ai Tsuehua didn't say much, old Madame Shangguan still felt a bit uneasy. Dia, has something happened? If something happens, you and your husband mustn't hide it from us. You should tell us and we'll solve it together. If it weren't for something significant, Shangguan Dehui and Ai Tsuehua would not have left so many people behind unattended. Ai Tsuehua shook her head. It's not a big deal, we just need to step out for a bit. Mom, please help us entertain the guests, we will be back soon. Are you sure nothing happened? Old Madame Shangguan was still not reassured. Truly, nothing. Ai Tsuehua said earnestly. Madame Zhang came out and said, Ting, if it's nothing serious, you and Dehui should stay. Today is Xiaoxi's big day. How can you, as parents, leave? Ai Tsuehua was only the stepmother. Leaving at this time could potentially invite criticism. Just like that, we'll be back soon. Thank you for your help, both moms. After leaving these words behind, Ai Tsuehua hurriedly walked out. Have you told your parents? As soon as they walked outside, Shangguan Dehui came over holding the car keys. Dehui, Dia, let me go with you. Su Lian came over anxiously from the side. Su Lian was Shangguan Zai's aunt and had raised Shangguan Su and Shangguan Shi single-handedly, so she held a certain position within the Shangguan family. Therefore, Shangguan Dehui told Su Lian about the situation so that if he and Ai Tsuehua did not return later, Su Lian could stand in for Ai Tsuehua to manage the situation. Shangguan Dehui said, No need, Sister Su Lian. Ai Yang and we will go. If we all go, it will make the guests suspicious. By the way, if they find Yun Yun near home or if Yun Yun comes back on her own, remember to call me. Okay, no problem. Su Lian nodded. Then be careful on the road. Don't be in a hurry. Ai Yang holding the car keys came from the other side. Mom, Dad, this way, they'll drive us there. Shangguan Dehui and Ai Tsuehua got into Ai Yang's car. When Madame Zhang saw Ai Yang leaving as well, she started feeling that something was amiss and became uneasy. What big thing had happened to make all three of them leave in such a hurry? Ai Yang cares deeply for her sister Shangguan Shi, and if it weren't for a serious matter, she wouldn't leave at such a moment. Madame Zhang held her husband's hand. Old man, I feel like something's wrong. Old Master Zhang had noticed something amiss too, but he understood that at this moment, they were the pillars of the household, and they certainly couldn't lose their composure. It's nothing, just overthinking. Taking good care of the guests is the best way to help Dehui and Ting. Source, web novel. Com, updated by Novlove. Com if you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc. Please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1141 founds Wuling_3. The car was fast, and it wasn't long before we arrived in the city. We successfully reported to the police station. Under normal circumstances, you have to wait 24 hours before reporting a missing person. But since little Niyun is only 4 years old this year and has no civil conduct capacity, she could be subjected to harm at any time. The police station immediately treated it as a criminal case and launched an investigation. Niyang had just come out of the police station when he saw Mo Kishin's car parked at the entrance. Yang. Mo Kishin got out of the car and hurried over. How is it? Did you find Yunyun? No. Niyang shook his head. How about on your end? Mo Kishin continued. Just got a report that Wu Yinyun did meet with Zhuoling last night. Now Zhuoling is nowhere to be found, and Wu Yinyun is at home. Let's go take a look at the Wu family. Niyang suggested. Okay, well, take my car. Mo Kishin opened the car door for Niyang. As they settled into the car, Mo Kishin continued, Yang, don't worry. I've already had someone watch all the major train stations and airports. They will report to me immediately if they spot anyone suspicious. Can we locate where Zhuoling went now? Niyang asked. Niyang wasn't afraid that Xiaoni was abducted, but she was more worried that Xiaoni might have been harmed. Mo Kishin shook his head. No response yet. In this era without surveillance cameras, finding someone's whereabouts in a short time is truly difficult. It didn't take long for the car to arrive at the Wu family's residence. Today both Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju were at home. Seeing Niyang and Mo Kishin arriving, the Wu couple were very surprised. Their intuition told them something must have happened. Yang, Xiaoma, why have you come? Yan Erju and Wu Jinshu came up to ask. Niyang didn't have time to elaborate. He directly asked, Godfather, Godmother, is Yenyun at home? At home. Wu Jinshu immediately nodded. I'll call her out for you. Wu Jinshu hurried off to the bedroom to fetch someone. As Yan Erju was busy pouring water for Niyang and Mo Kishin, she asked, Yang, you're in such a hurry to find Xiaoyun. Did something happen? Or did Xiaoyun cause more trouble for you again? Niyang said, we can only know after we ask her. Upon hearing this, Yan Erju turned pale and quickly grabbed Niyang's hand. Yang, tell me the truth. What has happened? It's just something we need to confirm with her. Niyang spoke calmly. Godmother, no need to busy yourself. We won't have water. Just then, Wu Jinshu came out of the bedroom, dragging along an unwilling Wu Yenyun. The last person Wu Yenyun wanted to see now was Niyang. Half out of guilt, half out of dislike. Father, what are you doing? I've already told you, I don't want to see those irrelevant people. Wu Yenyun struggled forcefully. Chapter 1142 found Zhuoling_4. 18 years ago, the Ni family cast her aside. Now, she can likewise demand an eye for an eye from Niyun. That would be fair. Niyang stretched out her hand, her pale fingers gripping Wu Yanyun's chin tightly, gradually increasing the pressure. As her red lips parted slightly, she uttered, Listen, if I find out this has anything to do with you, it'll make you wish you were dead. Each word was ice-cold, sending shivers down one's spine. Even Wu Jinshu and Yan Erju, who were nearby, felt a chill run through them. It was an odd sensation, considering Niyang was just a girl of around 18 or 19, but she exuded the air of a seasoned superior. After saying those words, Niyang let go of Wu Yenyun and turned to Mo Kishin. Brother Mo, let's go. Okay. Mo Kishin nodded. After the two of them left, Yan Erju and Wu Jinshu immediately confronted Wu Yenyun. Tell us honestly, does little Yunyun's disappearance have anything to do with you? No! Wu Yenyun screamed. How many times do I have to say it? No means no. Am I your daughter? Or are they your daughters? Why are you always so biased? If you dislike me now, you shouldn't have picked me up in the first place. The reason I turned out like this is all because of you. Because you didn't provide me with a good family environment. Think about all the hardships I've been through growing up. If she had grown up by Ni Quihua's side just like Ni Yang, she would definitely be living a better life than Ni Yang right now. What is Ni Yang anyway? Without the Zheng family, what would she amount to? Wu Jinshu raised his hand and slapped Wu Yenyun across the face. You ungrateful thing. You better truly have nothing to do with this. Otherwise, even your mom and I won't be able to hold our heads high. Yen Erju, with tears in her eyes, grabbed Wu Yanyun's hand. Xiaoyun, I know you have always been a good child since you were little. You absolutely mustn't do anything foolish. If you are really hiding Yun, tell mom and dad now before it turns into a major mistake. Okay? Wu Yanyun shook off Yen Erju's hand. I've said it's not me. Can't you stop nagging? On the other end, just as Ni Yang got into Mo Kishin's car, Mo Kishin's pager went off. After reading the message, Mo Kishin looked at Ni Yang. Yang, there's news from Zuoling. Really? Ni Yang's eyes brightened. Yes. Ni Yang nodded slightly, then quickly found a public phone booth and pulled the car over to the side. They approached the phone booth, and Mo Kishin immediately made a call, which was promptly answered. Holding the phone to his ear, a frost seemed to settle on Mo Kishin's brow as he turned to Ni Yang. Yang, Yun is indeed with Zuoling. Do you know the address? I do. Mo Kishin nodded. First notify my mom and them, then confront Zuoling. After informing Ni Tsuehua and the others, Ni Yang promptly opened the driver's door. Ill drive this time. This was the first time Mo Kishin knew that Ni Yang was such a skilled driver. Dust swirled in their wake as the car sped through. Mo Kishin's pager kept buzzing non-stop. Yang, turn around and head towards Shao Mountain. Zuoling's location is constantly changing. Screech. The sound of a sharp brake sounded, and the car immediately changed direction. Did you notify my dad? Mo Kishin bowed his head, pressing the pager. I'm sending a message to notify him now. Time ticked by second, and in a blink of an eye, it was the auspicious moment for the bride to get into the car. Under normal circumstances, just before the bride gets into the car, the mother is supposed to say some auspicious words. Seeing that the person saying these words was Su Lian, Shangguan, she felt a bit puzzled. Aunt, where's my mom? Not only Ni Tsuehua. Shangguan, she felt it had been quite a while since she saw Ni Yang as well. Su Lian responded with a smile. Your mom and dad are busy downstairs. What, it's not okay for your aunt to do this? Shangguan, she said. No, aunt. It's not that. Su Lian covered Shangguan's eyes veil while speaking. Okay. Xiaoxi, your aunt understands you meant no disrespect. From now on, you are entering the sacred hall of matrimony. Soon you will be a wife and a mother. Listening to Su Lian's words, Shangguan, she felt an uneasy premonition. At that moment, Wu Chenjun extended his hand to Shangguan Shi with a smile. Xiaoxi, marry me. I will make you happy from now on. Shangguan Shi reached out her hand, and then Wu Chenjun picked her up by the waist and they descended the stairs. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1143 found Zuoling _5. Downstairs, Shangguan, she saw Grandpa Zheng, Grandma Zheng, and Grandma Shangguan. But Ni Tsuehua and Ni Yen were nowhere to be found. Even Shangguan Dehui had disappeared. This was just too strange. Before Shangguan she could react, Wu Chenjun shoved her into the back seat of the car. Elsewhere, Ni Tsuehua sat in the back seat of the police car, glancing at her wristwatch. Her face suddenly changed. It was past the auspicious hour, and it was almost time for Shangguan Shi to take her vows at the church. That part of the ceremony, where the father escorts the daughter, simply could not go ahead without Shangguan Dehui. Without Shangguan Dehui as the father, how could the ceremony proceed? Dehui, you must take a taxi to the church right now. There's still time, she urged. Shangguan Dehui said, at this hour, how could I be in the mood to go to the church? And Ai Tsuehua looked at Shangguan Dehui seriously and said, Dehui, for Xiaoxi, you must go. At this moment, Xiaoxi cannot be without you. After you've taken the vows, then come back here. We still haven't found Zuoling. You staying here is just a waste of time. What if Zuoling is found right away? Shangguan Dehui retorted. And Ai Tsuehua said, if we do find Zuoling, the police will be there. You won't be much help. Please get out of the car now. Don't disappoint Xiaoxi and don't delay any longer. After the vows, hurry back here. We can keep in touch with our pagers. With that, Anai Tsuehua raised her voice towards the police officer in front. Officer, please stop the car. It's my eldest daughter's wedding day, and my spouse needs to get to the church immediately. Okay. After the car stopped, Shangguan Dehui was still reluctant to get out, because little Anai Yun needed him more than Shangguan she did. Anai Tsuehua pushed him out of the car. Dehui, go quickly and come back soon. Don't disappoint me. After the words fell, Anai Tsuehua quickly closed the car door. Watching the police car drive away, Shangguan Dehui sighed helplessly and promptly hailed a taxi. After getting in, he handed the driver 20 yuan. Master, I need to get to the Sacred Heart Cathedral at 58 South Street. Can you please drive as fast as possible? With money, things become easier, especially since it was 20 yuan. The driver pressed the accelerator. All right, please fasten your seatbelt. The journey was smooth, and it took only about 10 minutes to get to the cathedral. Upon seeing Shangguan Dehui, she breathed a sigh of relief. Dad, why did you come alone? Where's Mom and Yang? Shangguan Dehui replied. They are at home entertaining the guests. Shangguan, she said in confusion. But I didn't see them at home just now. Shangguan Dehui smiled and said, there are so many guests at home. It's normal for you to get confused. Where else would they be if not at home? By the way, has the ceremony not started yet? Shangguan, she turned to look at the wall clock and replied, it seems the priest was delayed by something. The ceremony can start in 5 minutes. Good, Shangguan Dehui said with a sense of urgency. Yet he had to maintain his composure on the surface. Shangguan, she went on, aren't Mom and Yang coming to the ceremony? Intuition told Shangguan she that something very abnormal was happening. The house is too busy, Shangguan Dehui answered. Xiaoxi, you don't blame them, do you? Shangguan, she shook her head. Dad, tell me, has something happened at home? Shangguan Dehui just laughed. You child, what nonsense are you talking about on such a happy day? What could possibly go wrong at home? Just then, the priest arrived, and they started preparing for the vows. Shangguan Dehui took Shangguan Zai's hand. Let's go, Xiaoxi. The chimes of the cathedral rang, and everything became solemn and serious. Looking at all the faces of her relatives below, Shangguan, she slowly steadied her heart. After the vows were over, Shangguan Dehui immediately left. Here, Zuoling's location had been confirmed. By the time Shangguan Dehui arrived, Anai Yen, Mo Qishan, Anai Tsuehua, and others were already there. At a dilapidated building, Zuoling was holding little Anai Yun hostage with one hand and clutching a sharp dagger with the other, capable of inflicting harm at any moment. The police were negotiating with Zuoling, whose emotions were extremely agitated. Little Anai Yun was also very scared, crying for her sister and mother. Zuoling himself did not expect the situation to unravel this way. He originally just wanted to kill little Anai Yun to vent his anger, and he hadn't anticipated the police getting involved. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 1144 found Zuoling_6. Shut up. Zuoling fiercely grabbed little Anai Yun by the hair. Little Anai Yun was just a nominal 4-year-old child. She had never experienced anything like this and, terrified, quickly shut her mouth, but her tears still uncontrollably streamed down. Yun Yun, Yun Yun. And I Tsuehua cried nearly to the point of fainting. Shangguan Dehui hurried to comfort her. It's okay. Dia, believe me, Yun Yun will definitely be fine. With that, Shangguan Dehui looked towards Zhuoling again. Xiaozhua, calm down. Let's sit down and talk about it. The child is innocent. Can you let go of Yun Yun, please? Yun Yun is only 4 years old this year. But no matter what everyone said, Zhuoling remained silent. If it doesn't explode in silence, it will perish in silence. If this continues, something terrible will definitely happen. And I Young looked towards Mo Qishan. Brother Mo, have you contacted Zhuoling's parents yet? Mo Qishan glanced at his wristwatch. They should be arriving soon. As soon as he finished speaking, the sound of a car engine came from outside, followed by 2 figures stumbling and tumbling in from outside. They were Zhuoling's father and mother. Lingling, silly child. What foolish thing are you doing? Quickly, put that little girl down. Lingling, what are you doing? By doing this, do you still want your parents to live? Upon seeing his parents, Zhuoling's expression finally softened, and he cried out, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry. It's your son's fault. From now on, just pretend you never had me as your son. Sorry. He didn't want it to be this way either. He didn't even understand how things had ended up this way. By the time he realized it, things had already gone out of control. Zhuoling's mother collapsed to the ground. Lingling, what's bothering you? Why do you have to do this? Mom is kneeling here begging you. Please let that little girl go. On the way here, the police already told me that as long as you turn back, they won't hold you responsible. Lingling, Mom knows you're a good child. You've just been confused for a moment. Lingling, turn back. It's safe. Zhuoling, crying, shook his head. Mom, I can't go back now. I can't go back. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry. What do they mean they won't hold him accountable? He has committed such a heinous crime. How could they possibly not hold him accountable? Did they really think he was a 3-year-old child? Would he believe such nonsense? Seeing her son so stubborn, Zhuoling's mother was exceedingly anxious. Her son was only 24 years old and had a bright future ahead. He must not be burdened with murder. Lingling, please listen. How can you do this to your mom and dad? Lingling, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Hearing this seemed to infuriate Zhuoling even more. Why? Isn't it all because of that bitch and I Yang? If it weren't for N.I. Yang, Xiaoxi and I would not have broken up. If Xiaoxi and I didn't break up, I would be the one marrying her now. It's all N.I. Yang. All her fault. That bitch. So I want revenge. I want her to suffer as I have. I want her to live a life worse than death. At these words, a chill went over Mo Qishan's face even thicker. If it wasn't because little N.I. Yun was still in the hands of this scumbag Zhuoling, he would have already killed him. Mo Qishan took a step forward. Zhuoling, you want to marry Shangguan Shi just for money? I promise you now, if you release N.I. Yun, I can immediately give you 3 million in cash. Plus, they'll give you a plane ticket to Y country. You can live a worry-free life for the rest of your days. 3 million. Zhuoling scoffed. Just you. Mo Qishan clapped his hands lightly twice, and immediately 2 men in black suits brought a briefcase over, opening the lid to reveal neat stacks of USD inside. Everyone present was stunned. No one expected Mo Qishan to have prepared such a move, especially Shangguan Dehui. The Mo Qishan tonight had greatly broadened his horizons. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, who would believe that this man, chilling enough to send shivers down one's spine, is known in Beijing as a useless layabout? Moreover, how could a so-called layabout produce 3 million in cash within minutes? How could a layabout have influence spread across major areas in Beijing? If it weren't for Mo Qishan tonight, it would have been almost impossible for them to find Zhuoling so quickly. Mo Qishan continued, Zhuoling, as long as you release N.I. Yun, all these items will be yours. Zhuoling squinted his eyes, a greedy glint surfacing. Throw the money over first. Just as Mo Chishan was about to order someone to throw the suitcase over, Yang suddenly picked up the briefcase and walked straight ahead. Yang! Mo Chishan yelled anxiously. Yang turned back and smiled at Mo Chishan. Seeing that smile, Mo Chishan inexplicably felt a bit more at ease. It's gonna be okay. Yang will definitely be alright. Yang, carrying the suitcase, took steps towards Zueling. Don't come any closer. Just throw the suitcase over. Zueling pulled little Yun and retreated several steps backward. Yang looked at Zueling. Zueling, it's me you hate. My sister has nothing to do with this. I'll give you the suitcase. Can you please release my sister? Do you think I'm an idiot? Zueling roared. The moment I release this girl, you'll immediately capture me. No, we won't. Yang shook her head. I am offering myself in exchange for my sister. If you want to vent your anger, hit me, kill me, I have no complaints, but my sister is innocent. Zueling hesitated. He hated Yang. He really wanted to kill Yang. Choosing little Yun initially because children are easy to deceive, and now given Yang had come by herself, he saw no need for courtesy. Then come over. Okay. Yang nodded. Wait a second. Zueling suddenly spoke. What is it? Yang stopped. Zueling continued. How do I know if you've brought any weapons on you? Yang took off her jacket and threw it on the ground. Is this okay now? After taking off her jacket, she was only wearing a simple white t-shirt and jeans. Zueling breathed a sigh of relief. Come on over. Okay. Yang nodded and slowly walked towards him. Mo Chishan was closely monitoring Yang's moves from his position, not missing any detail. As she came closer to Zueling, Yang stopped. Can you release my sister now? Zueling tightly grasped little Yun's hair with one hand while holding a sharp dagger with the other. Come a bit closer. Yang walked directly up to Zueling and stopped. Zueling kept a tight grip on little Yun's hair while moving the knife-holding hand to Yang's neck, then suddenly kicked little Yun away. It was at this moment that Yang suddenly countered, grabbing Zueling's hand, and with her left elbow, she fiercely struck Zueling's chest. Mo Chishan also seized this opportunity, rushing forward with a spinning kick. The two coordinated perfectly. Bang! Snap! Two sounds erupted, one sharp and one dull. The sharp one was the sound of the dagger hitting the ground. The dull one was the sound of Zueling being kicked away. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. You're tuning in to the Legend of the Vagabond YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.